Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We talk animated shows and movies here, especially Miraculous Ladybug. Find everything about us at overlyanimated.com. I'm your host, Dylan, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hey, y'all.
And April Collins.
Hi there.
It's time for the Miraculous Ladybug Season 6 finale. We're finally here after a multi-year journey. We've reached Secret Protocol and Nemesis, the final two episodes of Season 6 of Miraculous Ladybug that made their world premieres in the US Disney Channel. So for once, we are at the forefront of the discussion on these episodes. Everyone else has been waiting, I guess, for US Disney to air it. Who knows why, but we are very excited to get into Secret Protocol and Nemesis. Spoilers for all of season 6 of Miraculous Ladybug. We can finally say it. All seasons have aired. I think people are having big feelings about this finale, is what I've seen so far.
That's the best way to describe it.
So look, I'll just say, please listen. I think we will all offer some. We'll talk it through together. You know, all of our feelings.
Let's all hold hands. It'll be okay. We're in this together, guys.
You know, just give even if you're mad, just give this discussion a chance. I think we'll give you guys some interesting perspectives. You know, I have some good arguments, I think, on what's going on.
Also, we can all be mad together. It's okay. Let it out.
Maybe we'll be mad. Maybe we'll be happy about some things.
Maybe we'll be sad. We can cry.
It'll be fine. It'll be
the
fine.
Season ends on Marinette sobbing, so I think that we can all cry together.
It's great. Yay!
Representative of season 6.
Oh my god.
We're obviously gonna get into everything, so we can save the detailed discussion. But Delaney, in the past 24 hours, you've watched Secret Protocol and Nemesis.
Yep. Yes, I did.
Let us know, not right before the podcast. Let us know what you thought and your reactions after sleeping on it. What are your thoughts on these episodes?
Okay, preface. So Dylan, basically, I knew something big happened, and I was like, I'm not going to sit on this for a week because I'll die. So I was like, I waited so I could watch them together, and I'm glad I did because I would have been like, nope. First big thought, I think Secret Protocol is way better than Nemesis as an episode.
What was your reactions though? I think that's going to be a common opinion in the fandom. What were your reactions to them?
Okay, so Secret Protocol, I'm like, oh my god. Okay, so the episode starts. So I'm watching it, and my wife. So a really funny thing we have going on is like Tanya, every time anything happens, she's like, man, I really wish I could have got through the first season of Ladybug because you were just everything's crazy. And I'm like, you have no idea. So like the episode starts and I pause it and I'm like, oh my god. And Tanya's like, what? So then I explain. I was like, Lila literally went to China. And she's like, oh my god. And I'm like, that's not him. That's not him. And then so I'm watching the episode and I'm like stressed the whole time. Because at first, oh, Marinette's paranoid. No, I was like, she is right. She is right. She is right. And oh my god, the stress of watching that episode. And then I can't believe they did it. Like, oh my god, like Ladybug actually became a horror show. It was crazy. Like, oh my god, the animation was so good, and then just horrible. I will say, I did not. And this irritated Tanya when she says when I say my like podcast voice. So I'm like. I was like, I didn't have Marinette telling her parents on my bingo card. That wasn't on my bingo card. That's what happened. Marinette reveals her identity.
You commented that to her in your podcast voice, or was it a podcast type comment?
So I think that's one and the same.
Okay.
To her, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
I like that.
But yeah, so that's what. So she's like, all right, yeah. She like sometimes she's like, you're using your podcast voice. So no, I said that, and Tanya was like, shut up! I can't believe you just said that. And I'm like, I really didn't. And then I did mention because I've said it on the pod before. One of my favorite things is like the idea that Sabine has known this whole time. Sadly, Sabine has not known this whole time. Oh, also, this is so rude to do during Sabine's birthday. Why? Like like Lila, you're horrible. Like, can Sabine have a nice birthday? Sabine is so nice. Her parents are great, as expected. No one is shocked. Her parents are the best.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they're like, oh my god, do you want a snack? Like, so funny.
What about Nemesis?
Yeah, I guess. Okay, so Nemesis. kind of a similar to at the end I paused it and I gave Tanya some context because I was like, so in the first when Adrien and Marinette first meet, it's raining and he gives they like share the umbrella and now Marinette's alone and it's raining and I was like, I hate this show, it's terrible.
You're giving her like
so
podcast
bad.
analysis at the end of the episode. That's great.
It's so bad. Anyway, it hurt my soul. So much is happening in Nemesis. It almost doesn't feel like a finale. I will say we were so it's interesting in that I was kind of expecting the villain wins and the villain doesn't win, but Marinette. This is Marinette is at this is rock bottom, right? So, because we're getting a new Avatar show, I was like, yay. Ladybug's over for 10 minutes. But because of this finale, I'm like, oh my god.
So now you're upset we have to sit on this as the current status of Ladybug.
Yeah, what horrible, this sucks. They got to date for a season and then they're like, yep, terrible. It's terrible. It's bad.
Entire season and a half.
Season that sucks. Boo. Okay, that's actually to summarize all of my thoughts, and I had sent it in our group chat, was boo, this sucks, boo. Just boo. There we go.
Yeah. Which, isn't, you can have that reaction and that's not I hated the episode. It's that's, you're supposed to feel sad at the end of Nemesis.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah, no, I really liked Secret Protocol and I liked Nemesis. I just think Secret Protocol is a better episode, but no, Nemesis is a great episode and I think it was also very clever. There was parts right, so I paused it because Tanya's like, what is going on? I was like, babe, I'm with you. I don't know. Marinette's figuring it out, okay? I just have to go with whatever she's doing right now. I don't know.
Marinette.
Yeah, I just watched, basically, I'm like, I don't know. We're going to find out what her plan is.
Tanya's also explain it to me. Delaney's like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, I love that Kat immediately was like, we're just going to ruin the plan.
Yeah, that's what he does. Yeah.
He's like,
okay,
no, that's Marinette. That's my girlfriend.
I know, that was a good part. For context, by the way, we're recording this on Sunday, and the finale aired yesterday. So we've had one day to sit with this finale.
I slept on it, and I'm
only had one day to process.
And also, for the record, I watched Secret Protocol a week ago when it came out. These two had less time to sit on it, but it was an exciting week. It was an exciting.
And there are theories. And there were theories, and Dylan is going to present them to us and told us not to be on the Discord.
Yeah. Did you guys stay off the Discord like requested?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
You're welcome, even though it really bothered me that there were notifications.
Okay, well, you gotta mute it then.
You gotta mute it like I do.
Yeah, see, I the season ended, I unmuted the Ladybug spoilers channel on our Discord. I'm like, wow, this is the first time in 2 years I can look at this channel. And then immediately it's like, there's season 7 spoilers that Gloob just released. Okay, I muted it again.
Of course.
Literally hours after the finale.
Nice.
By the way, I would not trust Gloob on what they're saying. I don't know if people are taking this as I'm sure there's kernels of truth in this, but I don't know. I don't know exactly what it was, but this is not a first-hand source. Okay, April, what were your reactions to Secret Protocol and Nemesis?
Well, I made the mistake of watching Secret Protocol in the car.
Oh yeah.
Were you driving? You were not. Well, you weren't driving.
I wasn't driving.
Were you on break? Were you on lunch or something?
No, I was.
The car was in motion.
The car was in motion.
And Gwen was in the back seat, asleep or something.
I was in the back seat with Gwen, and she was asleep.
Okay.
So,
did you wake her up with your?
No, but my husband kept getting really annoyed because I kept reacting, and he's like, "Is everything okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine."
Oh yeah. So you're in the back seat with the baby, and Zach's like, and you're just like,
he's driving.
Yes.
Good job not waking the baby up. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Well, no, look, it was very crucial because she doesn't. Off topic. She doesn't like the car seat, and we were driving from St. Louis to Dallas, so.
Okay. Oh god, that was a really bad time to watch that episode. Dear God.
Yeah, I'm well aware of that because then I was in shock, and
yeah, you just had to sit there with that.
I literally had to just sit there with my thoughts and feelings, and then I was I told Zach, I was like, I have to drive the car, and he's like, okay, yeah, sure. And I was like, thank you.
You were like, I
So
gotta
then
do something other than
I
ruminate back
did.
here.
Okay, look, Secret Protocol, I feel like broke something in me.
It's crazy. I don't know if we'll ever have another episode like it. It's crazy.
That's the thing, like it's absolutely insane because from start to finish, I felt like I was losing my mind because I was like,
Yes.
yeah, right? Okay. Um and then we got
Like
into
the episode was like, we're gonna gaslight the viewer and Marinette.
yes, no, I felt that's exactly it. I felt like I was being gaslighted the whole entire episode. And then at the end, I no joke was like my stomach was in my throat. I had
So
goosebumps.
good.
And I
So
was like,
good.
I can't remember the last time a show did this to me. I'm sure I can, but I had like goosebumps in the car. And mind you, it's like 100 degrees outside and we
Right.
had the air conditioning. But still, like
April, you watch horror movies, and this is what solicited the
this
biggest
is
reaction from you.
this is what solicited the biggest reaction from me. And yeah, I know, right? Okay, maybe Obsession gave me some goosebumps. I don't remember. But anyway,
Did you have a bigger reaction to this finale than Obsession?
I think so, yeah, actually. I did. I felt like I was gonna be sick and I was just like stunned into silence. And I didn't know if I was gonna cry or what, which sounds crazy. I really don't know how to describe my feelings to Secret Protocol. And then Nemesis,
Crazy.
yeah, and then Nemesis, I was like, again, it was one of those like, what is happening here? Because we've got like a crazy Marinette plan, and this is like the most down I've seen Marinette all season. And and again, I felt like I was being like gaslit by Marinette being upset the whole time. And then Ollie is here and she's upset too. And I was like, are we really even friends with Ollie anymore? I don't know. Like, but Alia has
Oh,
every right to be upset. And like, and then even like whenever like we got into like the King Monkey thing again, I was like horrified. One like I was Marinette in these moments, right? Like her horror, I
it's
was feeling
bad.
it. It's so bad, and I have so many questions about so many things, I and it's another one of those where like was like a finale episode, right? But I'm like, this doesn't feel like a finale episode.
Yes.
Where's the next
Yes.
episode?
Yes.
So,
Evil.
I have a
That's
lot
how
of
they get
mixed
you.
feelings. I
It's
guess,
evil.
but also like, like it
Yeah.
it reminds me
Here's what I'll say about this doesn't feel like a finale. I feel like we have forgotten what non arc ending Ladybug finales are like, because the only Ladybug finale I would argue that ever has felt like a satisfying finale was the season 5 finale. They make the wish, Gabriel dies. We
yes.
have that was like a definitive, and even then we like didn't really know what was going on. But that was like a definitive finale. This reminded me of the seasons 1 to 4 finales. Like I feel like it was kind of right in line
No,
with that.
Well,
I disagree.
it
Like
felt more like
3.
season 1.
Well,
Maybe
it's
season
more
2.
like it's more like we have more questions than answers. Like,
Look, I have some answers for you guys. Okay, we have some. We'll go. We'll
okay,
You
get some.
have
We'll get
answers
some.
for me?
right.
Really?
I have
I'm so
answers.
excited.
I mean, I
I
have maybe like one or two answers,
sell.
and then I have like 10 more questions
So
based on
I'm
those.
Well, no,
selling.
I have like 50 questions. So
Okay.
how many
Sell 'em.
answers do
I
you
don't believe Dylan.
I don't have 50 answers, but
Oh,
I've been doing
So
we've been doing research on this. The Discord's been helping me, and I have
so
some evidence to present. Okay, I guess my main reaction, I want to get to my analysis just to defend Nemesis, but my main reaction to these episodes was kind of the week in between Secret Protocol and Nemesis was one of the most exciting Ladybug weeks, I feel like, and Delaney and April hadn't seen it, which was frustrating, but April was on vacation at least. So one of the two had an excuse. But
and Delaney sucks.
it's just that this is like the most active our Ladybug Discord have been. Like it was just it's such an exciting week of speculation on like what was up with Uncle Wang, how did Lila do that. There's so many
I
theories.
still have questions.
I mean, we did not get as many answers as one would think from Nemesis, for sure. But I think there are some answers, and I was very excited by the lore of that. I was very excited by the identity reveal to the parents. I think it was a very affecting ending and episode. I really like that. Nemesis, I think it's like I thought the episode was really captivating while I was watching it, and then you get to the ending and it's frustration because like the one thing I think that the finale needed to do, you had one job, Nemesis, and it was Marinette tells Adrien the truth about his father being
Yes.
Hawkmoth, and that didn't happen. So my initial
She's like,
reaction
all
was,
right, the only logical, I'm fine, we'll just break up. Like, God, I hate you.
I mean,
Yes.
I think if you in Marinette logic, I understand what she's what she's
No,
saying. So we'll
yes.
get to it. But it had one job and it didn't do it. So initial reaction was disappointment. But I have since like really come around on most of the decisions made in Nemesis. Now a lot of them are uh deferring to season 7. So that's always annoying. But like I said, I think Ladybug often defers to the next season. I like maybe previous finales were not as much doing it as this. But let me give you my what I wrote down as my nemesis. Not so now we're moving beyond the reaction into just my analysis of this episode. I think Nemesis is like really thrilling. It's excellent, and just as as an episode of television, I think it is one of the best of the season. It might be the best episode of the season. The animation and the music, I really noticed the music. I think they're really incredible. I thought Nemesis was really well paced until the last scene, which was too fast. But it's like definitely less good as a finale. Like I agree with that. But together, Secret Protocol Nemesis, I really love it as a reveal of Lila is a shapeshifter somehow. I love how those episodes play. And that is the big thing that's revealed by the finale definitively. And I love that. Well, I say like Lila's a shapeshifter. She has shapeshifting powers. Like we'll see, we'll see what that means. We'll talk about that a lot. But like that's like they to clearly say to our face at the end, like this person who has the butterfly miraculous, who we know to be Lila, is taking many different forms, and we have to contend with that moving forward. I think the finale functions extremely well, getting to that point and setting us up for an exciting dynamic next season. So I think both episodes in tandem really excellent. Like I'm okay with ending on that and then punting how is Lila doing this exactly, and the fact that she is still our villain into next season, that part, like not concluding that in the finale, I'm fine with that. I think it's more an issue that the of Gabriel like being and this Marinette keeping secrets, punting most of that into next season. But I like how this
One thing at a
episode.
time, guys.
Yeah, there's we knew that there was too much here, and there's no Felix in the finale. Like there was too much for them to do. But I like that they brought out Alya into it. I like that and here's kind of the key thing. We'll talk about this more, but it's not just when Marinette talks about this at the end. It's not just about telling Adrien the truth about his father. It's about all the secrets she's keeping and the secrets she's keeping
Yes.
from everyone. So bringing Alya into it, I think, is really good because it's less about she's keeping secrets from Adrien. It's more she's keeping secrets in general. It's more of a Marinette character finale and moment. But the place of like Marinette's about to tell Adrien, she doesn't tell Adrien. I feel like we did that many times this season, and it just feels like to the audience that Marinette should be able to tell Adrien about his father at this moment. Like I don't think they did a good job convincing us why she's not. Um, but like I said, it's just the focus on lying in general. And what's exciting to me is that I can't tell Adrien any secrets. Well, if that dam starts to break, I mean, it's the same thing we said leading up to the finale. Is she going to tell him he's a Senda monster? Is she going to tell him she's Ladybug, as she's now telling more people that? So I think that's what kind of is really interesting heading into next season. That it's there. Yes, we're tired of this one secret she's keeping, but there are ones beyond it that are still exciting that I think are absolutely in play. And we'll dive more into that. Some other things about Nemesis. I really like that Nemesis is it's Ladybug's grand plan that she's implementing, because every Ladybug finale is Gabriel's. Oh, it's my big plan for the season,
right.
and even
Oh
this.
yeah.
Even this season, Secret Protocol is Lila's big plan, and then also the mid-season finale, Yaxi Gozen, was also Lila's big plan. So finally, Ladybug takes the offensive, and this is her very complex master plan. I really like that as a setup concept for the episode. They also had a really creative use of the fight scene. I've talked about this a million times this season. I love when they use the requisite superhero fight scene in a creative way. Here it was staged completely. Alya's controlling what's happening, and they're just everything that happens up to the grabbing the Miraculous is them playing pretend for Lila, and then it also doubles as Alya airing out her feelings towards Marinette.
Yes.
During
really like
that. Yeah, so I think there's a really complex use of the fight scene. Another thing I really love, the chase scene. Like I said, the thrillingness, the chasing Lila through the catacombs, the setting of the catacombs of Paris. Turns out Lila's hideout I can't remember if we speculated this. Lila's hideout has been in the catacombs of Paris, where there are thousands of skeletons, dead bodies in the I don't know if people know this. I mean, I think it's somewhat common knowledge. But yeah, Lila's just been hiding out in these catacombs, and this chase sequence through that setting and passing Lila's hideout, I thought it was incredible use of that setting, of the thrilling chase. So I think there's a lot to love about Nemesis. I think certainly it's once you consider it as a finale, I understand the frustrations, but I definitely want to give it its props for everything that plays out in there, which some of the best kind of work just as an episode I think Ladybug's done. Any reactions before we dive into these topics?
I have so many. While you were talking, I've literally been scribbling so many different thoughts. I will say one thing.
You sound like Lila to me right now.
Thank you.
No.
I will say that I don't know. I don't even know. It depends on how much you want to get into this, because I had one really big revelation, and I don't know if it's appropriate to bring it up.
Well, what is it? Is it in the? So I feel like there's two big areas. I don't know which to go to first, but is it in the Lila can take the form of anyone, or is it in the breakup? Okay.
No, it's in the Lila. Okay.
Okay. Well, okay. Save it. Save it. Are there any just episode quality thoughts first?
I think one of the things that Nemesis, because I do agree, Nemesis is a very good episode, and so is Secret Protocol. I think one of the things that bothered me about Nemesis is that, because you know how you said that every episode or every finale has been Gabriel's big plan or whatever, and it seems like we've been following a format this season where the stinger has always been Lila, and I think the fact that it wasn't with Lila was kind of jarring, if that makes sense, because even
a 5-minute stinger, and I was like, this gonna hurt.
Yeah,
I was
so
this gonna suck.
Yeah, so I think that's something that this Nemesis was missing, because it seems like we've been going along with Lila, right? Just a little bit, we're not fully in her head, but we kind of have bits and pieces. And I think that I missed not having her in the stinger, which sounds terrible coming out of my mouth.
Well, we also didn't really see Lila's POV this episode at all, and I agree that's very jarring, and not ending the episode you're expecting their Team Ladybug or the Miraculous are okay, what? So how is she doing this? You expect us to cut to Lila. Where is she now? How did she do this? And we don't.
And I think that's part of the mystery.
Especially because that room that Ladybug looked into that was burning, was that her room?
That was her hideout that we've seen her in all year.
Yeah,
that was the implication.
Based with all the books. That's what it looked like to me, all the notebooks were burning.
Okay, that's what it looked like to me too, but I was like, maybe I'm just seeing, looking too much into things.
And I thought that was part of the thrilling part. Lila set her whole hideout on fire.
So where is she going?
Well, that's the thing. I think that's what's so frustrating. They were so close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was ready to be frustrated that they're close, but she just got away. But the fact that it tied into the big mystery of Lila's abilities and that she genuinely tricked them, to me felt satisfying. There was nothing Marinette could have done about that without knowing that she could have been any of them in that moment.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
I agree with you that it's jarring. We don't end on Lila. We don't see her POV. I like it, but I understand that it's like jarring and going to elicit kind of negative
It's,
reactions. But thinking about it, especially, it makes me excited to get into it more from Lila's POV next season.
I get like it makes sense as much as we don't like it. It makes sense too along with the episode because like you said, this is like Ladybug's big plan, right? And so I guess taking that focus off of Marinette and Ladybug what like doesn't make sense for this episode for Nemesis specifically.
I think they're doing a really good job of playing with the perspective. Like I really like. So what made? I'm so sorry. I keep burping. Okay, so it's the coat. Secret. So it made Secret Protocol so compelling and terrifying was we knew Lila had been to China. So
Yes.
you were already like, oh no. So then it's like, so we know Marinette does have a reason to be suspicious. So then that's what makes it so horrifying. And then we have it confirmed. And then so I like that. So like, that flip. So it's like, so we know something Marinette doesn't, but then to do, and then it kind of like they did it again. So it's like, to not show us Lila's point of view, we don't.
It's a good point. We don't see it in Secret Protocol either, and it's a big mystery, and it heads into Nemesis as well. Yeah.
And I think my theory is that so in addition to it, I think it's an ability, but I also think Tomoe is involved, and it might involve like she probably had to go to China to like I wonder if she needed to scan him in some way, but then also like she needs to get to know him.
Okay, we've decided we're gonna talk about the topic of Lila can take the appearance of whoever she wants how first. We will talk about the supposed.
I'm excited.
No.
We will talk about the supposed break. Oh, I put a possible title. I keep burping, but that we won't go with that. We won't go with that. I know a lot of people want us to hear us talk about the potential breakup by Marinette and Adrien. Just as a preview, I'm not buying that they're going to break up. That's a little preview here, but we'll check the notes in the description. And just to hit on that for a second, like they're not broken up at the end. Marinette says she might break up with him.
They haven't broken up.
So let's we'll come back to this.
Stupid, so I'm choosing not to
it.
acknowledge
Yeah. Okay. Well, unfortunately, this is a podcast talking about the show, so we are going to have to acknowledge it. But well, I'm most excited about this big mystery of it's revealed at the end that Lila has the ability to take the appearance of whoever she wants. Let me walk you through, since you guys were less in the like a day by day in the Secret Protocol and the Nemesis. So Secret Protocol airs, big mystery of like what just happened with who was Uncle Wang? How did that happen? No. First I want to walk through it because I want to take you guys on this journey. So we're gonna pause there. Let me take you big questions here, step by step. What is going on with Lila? Question number 1. Do we think very basic question? The the shape-shifting ability that is mentioned at the end by Marinette and the Miraculous, the person who can take on whatever appearance. Do we think that is Lila?
Yes.
I know these are basic questions, but I'm trying to go. I'm going to escalate as we go through. So you guys both. That's where you guys' head is at. You both think that the person that they're talking about at the end is Lila.
Yes.
Yes.
Slash Cerise. Okay, so she has the ability to take the appearance of whoever he wants. That's huge, right? We didn't know that heading into Secret Protocol.
Whoever she wants.
We don't know. We don't know how it works.
I want to. I have a theory.
Okay. Let's pause. Okay, you're right because we punted on April's theory. Well, okay, let's hear April's theory first. Okay, let's do it, and then we'll go back to Delaney too.
Okay, and you can tell me. You can be like, okay, April, shut up. So Lila can take because up until this point we thought Lila was just switching out wigs and things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what if Lila is a sentient and as a sentient being who has control over her whatever object, amok, she is able to change her appearance via that and at will. But she has to be able to see, like, she has to see them first. Because she didn't know, like, what Uncle Wang looked like, right? And didn't, like, never really spoke to him or anything. So I think that's part of that. But that also helps explain how, like, the others have been quote unquote growing up, right? So can they, as sentient beings with control over themselves, change how they appear?
I shouldn't be surprised that April is just like instantly diving into the rules of Cinemonsters. Like I'm gonna need to come back to this question.
Okay.
You're just speculating about how the rules of Cinemonsters work.
Well, no,
I think
but
there's
like that's how she would be changing her appearance, right? That's how she would be able to take on like the appearance of Uncle Wang or a small boy or the firefighter
basically
or
you're
the pregnant
speculating that
woman.
all Centimonsters could potentially be able to change their appearance.
Yes.
Okay.
Without losing their like sentience.
This is not, I will say, for now, we'll come back to this. This is not a known thing that Cinemonsters can do based on the rules that we know about. But look, we're going to speculate a lot about the Cinemonster rules here, but let's come back to this. Okay. Delaney, did you get out what you wanted to say about the how Lila's doing this before?
I think so. I think it's maybe a combination of the fact that she's good at tending to be other people, but I don't think it's necessary. It's either pure peacock ability. I'm sorry, pure butterfly ability, or it's some Tomoe tech nonsense.
Yeah. Okay. So let's answer the first one first. Is Lila physically could not have like gotten into all those disguises, right? Like if they were just like non-magic.
Yes.
So we've established. Let's go back to our step by step. So we have established the person at the end changing forms is Lila, and that this is some sort of magical ability. Okay. Question 2.
Within reason, I would consider Lila kind of a master of disguise, but this is now beyond reason.
Right. That's the big difference. And by the way, just thematically, I love this reveal for Lila. That's the big thing. Like, Dylan, why do you like this finale? Biggest reason. I love how the finale establishes Lila having a shape-shifting ability in both of these episodes. I think it's incredibly well done. And I love that reveal for the character Lila because I believe she has always thematically been associated with shape-shifting. It has just not been so magically literal until now. So I think even though this is a big jump in terms of physical reality, I think that this feels very satisfying to me as a plot development. Like it feels right that Lila can shapeshift here.
It makes sense. It's it's that natural evolution. It's horrifying.
Yes.
Yes, that it makes sense.
And
again,
it helps us answer the question all season of how is Lila. Like, how does she know everything that's going everywhere, right?
Well,
but also,
how does she know everything? How is she Aglia? Okay, anyway, come back to it. So, first of all, also, the season has been building up that she's Aglia, which Delaney had a big announcement that they believe that Lila's Aglia. Now, remember that? It basically, I mean, we didn't get the reveal, but we did get the reveal that Lila can be anyone. So you would assume that she's probably Aglia.
But also, this now brings into question: she might not be Aglia, but she can be Aglia, but she can probably be literally anyone else at any time. So it's like
she could be Aglia always. She could be Aglia sometimes. She could be anyone sometimes.
Like Aglia still might be person.
It's possible Aglia. It's possible the real Aglia was stuffed into a closet at the end of episode 1.
That's what I was going to say.
Was her for
yes. Like Aglia might be a real person, and that also was my first thought, that she got stuffed into a closet.
That's how it works, right? Like Scooby Doo. That's how it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So I know people are going to be like, people are thinking, viewers have the tendency to view things very literally. So I'm just trying to tell you, as like a media critic, it makes sense Lila to have shape-shifting abilities thematically because she has always been associated with changing her appearance. That is what's really satisfying. I know it doesn't explain it physically what's happening. Now we're going to take a lot of time trying to explain what is happening. It's not an explanation in and of itself, but that is why I think it is thematically very rewarding. Now, that being said, how did this happen? So I like how the episode, again, I like punting this decision. I think it gives us a lot of clues. Second question. Was Lila always like this? Did she have a shape-shifting ability? Or did she recently gain this ability to shapeshift? Or does she only temporarily have it? There's a lot of questions, and I don't think we know the answer to this.
I think she couldn't. I think it's pretty obvious she couldn't do it before she became the holder.
I don't think that's obvious, but I understand why you would say that, because we see the big problem with Lila shapeshifting here is we see her wearing wigs and stuff from seasons 1 to 5.
I think that she figured out the ability from the book.
From the book. That's what I was gonna say. It's like she has the codex.
Yeah.
Yes, so she could.
So she
I don't know if that's
she
literally
relied
what it's
on.
called, or was that the?
We're calling it the Codex, the Miraculous Codex.
It's the Ladybug book. I don't know.
The Ladybug book. But no, she couldn't do it before, which was why it was always wigs and things. But then she read the Codex and was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Now I can do this."
So she gained the ability. Now the question is, I mean, that is possible. I think it's possible she always had it, although I agree there's
It's the
problems
grimoire.
with that. The grimoire.
Oh yeah, can we call it the
Is
grimoire instead of the Codex?
No,
That's
it's
what it's
the
literally
grimoire is the
called,
real
the
name. That's the
grimoire.
Ladybug name.
Oh.
Okay. I think a lot of people now watching the episode, your first reaction is like, oh, did Lila akumatize herself into Uncle Wang? Both episodes, I believe, prove Lila could not have accomplished either thing she did in either episode by akumatization alone. So let's explain. Did you guys also have that realization, or did you think it might be she might be akumatizing herself?
No, I don't think. Well, then it would be like 2 akumatizations, which I guess in theory you could do, but I don't know.
Right. So in Secret Protocol, she is Uncle Wang, and then Wang does genuinely get akumatized. And then like he rejects the miraculous, and then it goes away. So
there's the Akuma at the end.
Right. Yes. So there's an Akuma, and our understanding of the rules of the Butterfly Miraculous are that you cannot have 2 active akumatizations at once. That has been I believe established. In Nemesis, they akumatize the Ladybug illusion into Nemesis, and that is specifically shown to be active during the chase scene in the catacombs when Lila shapeshifts a bunch. So that is so that she can't be akumatizing herself because there's already an active akumatization, unless the rules have changed. That's always a possibility here.
Because she read the grimoire and figured it out, just in the same way that like Ladybug can have multiple lucky charms and Cat Noir can use Cataclysm can, more than once.
Right. They can lucky charm at one after each other, but Marinette has never done 2 lucky charms at once. So that is
which would be different. So you can only have 1 Akuma.
Yes.
But I think no, that would be very dependent because the lucky charm comes from the yo-yo, right?
And the Akuma is a real butterfly. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah.
Well, the idea was that because they like reached their full potential, they're no longer
unlocked
too weak.
That. Yeah.
Like they don't need to rest
the ability.
Right, but and which Gabriel had that ability already. He can send out Akumas one after another without detransforming, but he can never send out 2 Akumatas at once. And I believe that the episode does not want us to think that the rules of the akumatization have changed, because again, like I feel like it's very intentional that Nemesis is active the entire time. The viewers and it's very intentional that we see Wang and then we see him get akumatized and then we see that he was someone else the entire time. We're meant to say like, how did that happen? She can't do that, right? Like she can't be akumatized twice, one on top of another. So I don't like. It could be that the rules evolve. To answer the question about the book, I think Gabriel had the book as well the entire time. To our knowledge, Miraculouses don't work like that beyond the butterfly as well.
What? No, that's too crazy. I was gonna say, what if
nothing's too crazy for this podcast?
I know. It's really complicated though. What if she akumatized herself, gave herself the ability to shapeshift, gave herself the ability to create illusions, and with that shapeshifted, which would then explain like the Akuma flying away at the end of Secret Protocol.
Is that an illusion, that Akuma?
Yeah.
I think we see Ladybug de-evilize the Akuma, so I feel like
Because
Ladybug would have known if it was not.
no,
a
but
real
she
Akuma.
didn't. She didn't.
She
in
didn't
Secret
de-evilize.
Protocol.
Oh,
He
it
rejected.
just flies
Yeah,
away.
he rejected it.
I guess it's hard to disprove illusion stuff because this is a problem I think with the show when it's a main mechanic of the finale. Illusions are so like it could be anything. Like I don't know.
Well, especially because after what is it? In Nemesis, how they gave the I guess like a physical property to the illusion, because the rule of the illusions are that once they're touched they disappear, but they broke that rule
Right. So
a little bit.
Wang could not have been an illusion because illusion. Well, the problem is Wang could not have been an illusion anyway because she doesn't have that miraculous. But I don't know if the Akuma. I don't know if you give an akumatized villain a power, if it has to follow the same rules as the person who has the miraculous. But regardless, Lila could not have given the illusion the power because they have that miraculous that lets the rooster give any power they want, and Lila doesn't have that miraculous.
What if she gave herself the power to use any of the powers of the miraculouses? All of the miraculouses.
See, I think you're getting into I'm gonna wish for 10 more wishes territory here, and I don't know.
No, but I mean,
no, and this is why I don't think it's an ability of the miraculous. I think it's Tomoe nonsense.
Okay, I still think it's the Centibeing stuff.
Question number 3. Let's get to how if this is a permanent ability. So okay, either she has awoken this ability, or it is granted to her and she has it moving forward, or she's always had it. It's still like permanent. It's not a temporary Akuma. You know, I feel like that's clear enough. It's like this is something that the show is presenting as a threat moving into next season. She's gonna always have this ability. If so, how could she have these powers now? Because the answer is there's not a lot of things in our known mythology that answer it. So let's go through a few options. Delaney's saying it could be technology. From Tomoe. I think that's interesting. I didn't even have that written down. If it's magic, it could be a miraculous that we do not know about yet, because we know that there are many more miraculous boxes out there.
They would do that. They'd be like, here's a new miraculous.
So it could be that she has a second miraculous. Could be hard to disprove that. The big thing, so here's the answer that most people think it is, or heading into the finale. Here's what most people thought how Lila was Wang. Was the blue lightning that appeared in the season 5 finale. Remember, we see Lila startled that there's some sort of blue lightning type appearing thing in the finale epilogue.
Yeah.
We never got an explanation. People thought that was going to be explained, and that would be how she is able to do this. Now, that was not explained or touched upon in the finale.
No. Or throughout the rest of the season.
Right. And my reaction to people was like, it wasn't talked about this season. It's probably not going to be here. It'll be eventually. I think it's more of a long-term thing. But yes, the blue lightning, we don't know what it is, vaguely could have granted her a power because she starts being able to shapeshift from that point forward. It could have vaguely done something to her, but we don't know what it did or even what the blue lightning was. So it's really hard to speculate from there. People have always potentially associated the blue lightning with the Supreme, the villain that is in the Miraculous World specials, the Supreme, potentially an alternate version of Master Fu. So it could be that transdimensional Fu, the Supreme, is granting her an ability somehow. This is something that I think this is probably what most people will still think heading into next season.
I didn't even think about the blue lightning.
Well, because it's such a non-factor.
It's not been relevant, yeah.
Well, yeah. There's no reason to. That's fine if that's the answer, but I don't think it's really look, I'm about to make some people mad. It's not really worth speculating about or even considering, because there's literally nothing to go on.
Yeah, there's literally nothing to hint at. I feel like that's okay, you guys, again, people can be mad at me too. I feel like associating the blue lightning with Lila's ability to shapeshift is grasping for straws, because you're so desperate to. No, you guys aren't desperate. We're all desperate for answers, and so that let me create an association that doesn't exist, that might not exist.
This is harsh. Let me give the two. I have two counterpoints to that, and I don't want to think it's the blue lightning either, because I think that's unsatisfying. But I have two.
Granted, I will say Ladybug loves to be like if season 7 could start with, here's the blue lightning, they would
it could.
A flashback,
to be clear.
Two reasons why the blue
theory.
So
about
the
the
two
blue
reasons why the
lightning.
blue lightning might be associated. One is it's at the right moment because it's when she gains the Peacock Miraculous, and
Fair.
now she seems to be able to shapeshift in season 6, but she maybe wasn't able to shapeshift
But
before season 6. So it happens at the right time. Number two, it's just it's a thing that did happen. Even if it's not talked about this season, it is on the board. And so I think
Mhm.
it's more satisfying than a vague miraculous from a different miraculous box, because at least they presented us the
Oh,
possibility
I
that
would definitely
there are other
don't
miraculous
want it
boxes.
to be another miraculous. That would be
Right, but the
irritating.
blue
Yeah.
lightning is something that will happen at some point. So I think it is in
Probably.
play.
But to that point, she also had only just started reading the grimoire at the end of season 5, going into season 6. So
She has the
the
peacock, the butterfly miraculous, and she has
Yeah.
the grimoire now. So there's other things as well.
yes.
Yeah, that are
So
there.
who's to say that she hadn't been reading since she acquired that? And
Yeah,
then
again though, April, I believe Gabriel had the grimoire and was able to read it. Like maybe he's just stupid,
Well,
which
yeah.
is true, but like
Well,
he
no,
could
but-
have figured
Well,
something
they
out.
also
Yes.
had different motivations. Like,
Yes.
It's true.
so
It is true.
Hawkmoth was absolutely like blinded. Like, he very much like there were so many limitations to what Gabriel was doing, and honestly, he was so unimaginative, as evidenced by his terrible plans in akumatizing babies.
You
I
sound
think-
like Tomoe or
No,
something here. He was
no,
so
but I think
you sound like
He
Audrey.
was.
So,
He
he
was.
was so
but that's-
unimaginative.
But he was, because he could have like
Yeah,
I don't
I
believe
agree.
that-
I agree
I
with
don't
you guys.
believe
I
that
think
he was
Two
motivated to read any
15-year-olds.
more. Yeah, I don't believe that he was motivated to read any more than he felt necessary.
yeah. Okay.
Whereas
look, I-
Lila is crafty.
Lila's nuts.
we
Yeah,
we've
and
we've,
she's
we've
like-
evidence
why
to believe
wouldn't she
Lila.
read the whole
Lila's
book?
a smarter. We've seen this season. Lila's a smarter usage of the butterfly miraculous in one season than
Yes.
really Gabriel. Anyway,
Arguably, I think Lila's even more motivated, and also presumably she's not really going to school. Gabriel had a job. Like, she has so much
Yeah.
time on her hands to like be nuts. So
She's not, unless
well,
she's
if
Aglia
she's
and just
unless
showing
she's
up to
Aglia
school.
full time in school, yeah.
yeah, unclear.
So,
But-
by the way,
but-
I would say we don't fully know Lila's motivations yet. I think part of it is to what
No.
extent she's collaborating with Tomoe. Can I get to there's April? There's one thing I believe
Okay.
within our known mythology. There's one thing that can explain how Lila has this ability that we know about
Why do
already.
I have this?
That's not
Why
a
do I
big
have
blue
this
lightning.
feeling it's gonna piss me off? I'm ready.
Okay,
because it
I'm
will.
ready to hear it.
Okay.
The answer is because she's a Cinemonster, and that's how she has this
Yes,
ability.
that's right.
Oh,
So
Yes.
well,
so
and to be fair, for the
Yes.
record, me and April were like, "Yeah, Lila's a Cinemonster," and Dylan
So let
was
me
like,
walk you.
"No."
Okay, I'm going to pause here. Come back to why that explains
Okay.
it. Let me walk you through my journey. So I saw we saw Secret Protocol. My first reaction
Yes.
is, oh, Uncle Wang was a Senna monster that Lila created. That was my first
Okay.
reaction. Now that doesn't really make any
Okay.
sense because she would have
That's
needed
way
to have the
darker,
Peacock
by the way.
Miraculous. She would have. She needed.
Yeah,
needed
she
to
would
have
have
the
had
Peacock
to had
Miraculous.
it-
We would have needed
yes.
to akumatize it's a big stretch, and we've no evidence she had the Peacock Miraculous or anything.
Mhm.
But then we get to this episode, and I didn't. But along the course of the week, I'm like, I don't think that's it. I think, but again, the only thing that makes sense in terms of Lila. But I rewatched it, and then I think that Secret Protocol, the end of it, strongly gives you the impression that actually was Lila. It's not that was something
Yes.
Lila like a decoy.
Yeah.
It's something that,
Yes.
and I, by the way, I was arguing for Nemesis. I agree, Secret Protocol is an incredible episode because that episode, without saying it, just strongly gives you the impression that Wang was Lila the entire time. And so, if
Yes.
she was
Especially
Wang
after-
the entire time, especially
gonna
after
say-
Nemesis, but if
well,
she
no,
was
yeah,
Wang,
especially after. Yeah, sorry.
yeah. Well, this is before Nemesis is even aired. But
Mhm.
if she was Wang the entire time, she couldn't have akumatized herself and akumatized herself again. So how does she have the ability to shapeshift? So I was expecting her to have the ability to shapeshift heading into the finale, which I think the finale confirms in a very cool way.
Mhm.
But how does she have that ability? Well, it only makes sense if she like innately has that ability, which she could be created to have that ability. So I want to, like, I know April presented this notion that all Senna monsters can shapeshift. That's not something we know about. But what we do know about is I could have the Peacock Miraculous. I could make a Senna monster that is a shapeshifter. I'm bringing you into existence. You are a shapeshifter. You can take the ability of Lila. You can take the ability of that is a known thing. Like that's the thing about
Yeah.
it's so powerful. I can just make whatever I want. So I'm going to make a being that is either a human shapeshifter, can shapeshift into other humans, or maybe it's just a ditto and it can shapeshift into anything. So like Lila's literally ditto, like, by the way.
Ditto.
And by the way, I believe that she had to go to Shanghai
And now
to
this
like
is a
Yes.
Popopia podcast.
to
Now we
see
can
Wang,
talk
but
about
also
the
there's other
TLC.
reasons. Okay, we'll come back to that. But like,
Okay.
but the thing again, that this is something we don't need further explanation. If Lila was a Senna monster created innately with the ability to shapeshift, it's not that all Senna monsters have the ability to shapeshift, but like whoever created Lila, Tomoe potentially, made
Yeah.
her to be a shapeshifter. That is explains already, and we know about it. It just involves Senna monsters. It can
Yes.
potentially connects to the other thing, and then the other thing to bring in is the fact that we have had hints that Lila might be the daughter. I mean, she literally says it. She calls Tomoe mom, and she
Mom.
refers to Kagami as her sister. We have had, so that's why last podcast I brought up the possibility that Lila would be a Senna monster. You guys said 4 is the perfect amount of Senna monsters. I was a gaff at that, and I did not agree. And then since then, I've fully come on board now because these next 2 episodes have convinced me that
Welcome
Lila's a Senna monster. So
aboard.
I'm joining you guys on the 4.
Welcome.
And the problem with 4 is I think we're opening the door to many Senna monsters beyond Lila.
But no, I think that there has to be some, in terms of Senna monsters, there has to be some sort of ability, whether or not the person is created with the intention of them being a shapeshifter, they have to be able to shift their appearance in some way. Because how else do you explain like Adrien and Kagame and Felix growing up, right?
Right. So,
And
so
the only
okay.
reason why we have evidence of them actually growing up is through like Chloe, who's known Adrien since they were like little.
You're going back to our classic season 3, season 4 cinema. Adrien is a Senna monster speculation. Here's the answer. This season, we see in the episode Dirtifiers, which is going to be the key discussion point. We see Lila or Tomoe is pregnant with Kagami, presumably with Kagami. So presumably, she made a Senna monster of a baby and put it inside her womb. And so it functions as a normal, this is going to be unsatisfying to you, April, but it functions as a normal person because I am going to create a Senna monster that is a human fetus that will then grow as if it were a normal human. By all intents and purposes, it is normal.
Very specific, and I know
I hate this. I hate this.
But here's the thing. That is the explanation that we are of the understanding of. I don't think the show is presenting it as a mystery as to how Adrien grew up. I think the show we are to assume that Senna monsters work that way. That you can just say, I want a normal human. I want to have a baby. Okay, now I'm pregnant but it's a Senna monster baby. It's going to grow up. It's still a Senna monster. It doesn't need to shapeshift. It's just growing that's because I created it with the intention to be a normal human, to grow as if it were a normal human.
I can accept that. If I could accept that, but I could also accept the fact that maybe it's just in like terms of like Hawkmoth being able to create like Ultra Kumas, right? Like that was an ability that grew upon after him reading the grimoire. So I think that, and I think the same goes for like any of them, like the Miraculous holders, right? Like
Lila has to be the Nega Kumas or whatever they are this season. So we've seen abilities evolve. So I don't think what you're saying is unreasonable. I don't think it's unreasonable to say that we might see an expansion of Senna monsters.
I think both sides of that theory are like plausible, and I wouldn't be upset. Like if Lila was created, like I want a shapeshifter, right? A shapeshifting child or baby or whatever it is. I think that would work just in the same way as like I want to have a child that grows as a normal human. I think the problem is like being specific, right? Because we don't ever see this show be specific in terms of like intentions and things like ultra specific. So like it feels like a stretch when you're like, I'm going to take this amok and create.
I'm over explaining it, but I think what presumably what Adrien's mom said was Emily. I want to have a child, And then the Senna monster's like, okay, the peacock monster's like, okay, now you're pregnant with a child. Like it takes on the rules from there. I understand why it's like a little unsatisfying and a leap of logic. But here's what I'll say. What I'm describing, I believe, is what the show is currently presenting to us as to what happened with Adrien and Kagami. What you were describing, April, I think is the problem is anything's plausible, but there's a few things that you're saying that we don't. That is not our understanding of how they work. You're talking about how you have to hold the mucked object and then you can dictate your form. To our understanding, the only thing that the object you having the object means is that you just control your own actions. Someone doesn't control your actions for you. So there's you're kind of adding an ability to that, which is plausible. Again.
I was gonna say again, it's one of those things that we don't know. It's just like in the beginning, right? Hawkmoth was able to keep his form even after creating an Akuma and sending it out and akumatizing people. And then we learned later through like growing up and through the grimoire that that's how Ladybug and Cat Noir can now use, the Lucky Charm multiple times and keep their form, and use Cataclysm and keep their form. And so I think that it could just be one of those things, but it could go both ways. But I really think that the shapeshifting is tied to her being a Senta monster. So because also, why couldn't they also, as in holding their object, say, I want to change my form? Right.
Well, the answer is because we don't know that they can do that yet. That's not something that's not something that is within their abilities. That's why I'm saying the only explanation that we know about so far is if Lila was created specifically to shapeshift.
Yeah.
If the show wants to do something other than that, they have to present us with new information. Totally possible the show will do that. If it's whether it's Senna monsters, whether it's the blue lightning, it's possible that there'll be some sort of information.
I think that if they give us the Lila was created as a Senta monster that can shapeshift, there has to be why would Tomoe create that?
Okay, well let me give you the rest of my theory. So
there's more.
She was created by the Russians to be a spy.
Perfect.
If it were an American show, that would definitely be the answer.
That would be 100%. No question.
What's the French equivalent of the Russians? Is it still the Russians to the French, or is it someone else? Okay, let me give you the rest of the potential theory here, and then I'll pass it to Delaney to react if you're buying or selling.
Oh no.
The rest of the theory is in the episode Dirtifiers. We specifically see, and by the way, this might be recency bias because this was a recent episode, but this was my theory after seeing Secret Protocol that I still believe in, which is we see that Tomoe is pregnant. We see baby Kagami, but we see these interspersed. But we could then see, but what the episode didn't show us was also she was pregnant with twins, and also Lila was born at the same time separately. We just didn't see that happen in the Dirtifiers flashback. So Tomoe gave herself twins. Lila is Kagami's twin sister, except Lila. Let me explain potentially Tomoe's motivations. Tomoe created Kagami to be her perfect child, to marry off, to gain more power, and she created Lila to be her spy. So one is her spy child, one's her little token prize child. And we've only seen half the story of the kind of Lila Kagami birth backstory. Vague, but that would be the direction that, given the information, that kind of makes most sense. By the way, I was against Lila being a Senna monster, so I still think this is too much. But I think this is the only thing that really fits from what we know right now.
I guess
twins is crazy. I'm selling.
I was gonna say, Senna monster twins.
Senna twins.
Senta twins.
I mean, we basically already call Felix Adrien's twin, even if they're.
I mean, they are.
They're basically twins.
By the way, they don't have to be twins. They could be birthed separately at separate times. They don't
my issue is not that it's not possible. My issue is that I hate it.
I think my issue is
tell us more. Tell us more, Delaney. Why do you hate it?
Yeah.
Lila, I do not accept this Lila literally Kagami's child. No.
Tomoe's
No,
child. Yeah. What you think it's
no.
still you still think it's more of a metaphorical
Yes.
mother that she was
Yes.
saying.
Yes. And if she turns out to literally be her kid, I'm gonna be really mad about it because that's stupid.
The reasons to think that Tomoe was the one who created Cinemonster Lila is because one, we've seen her call Tomoe mom, and Tomoe is someone who had the Peacock Miraculous at one point. Um, and two, they're like conspiring in some way this season. It's unclear exactly how that dynamic works, but
That's the only
they're just
evidence that we've been given.
They were just
Yeah.
passing this Miraculous around. I think. So they were, if you were rich, they were like, you want a kid? Here you go. So then we have
people on our Discord are speculating that Audrey also could have
no,
had it
that's
while
what I
they
was
were
about to
passing it
say.
around.
Yeah.
I was about to say all 3 of her children are sent monsters.
That's what I see. I am not inclined to go in the Audrey Cinemonster direction yet, just because I don't think the show is pointing us there yet.
7 is too many Cinemonsters.
Oh, so finally you think some number is too many Cinemonsters.
Well, but I would need. I don't know.
It could be someone else during that time. There's an ambiguous time period there where it could have been someone besides
I think it's
Tomoe.
really funny in this show with all this technology and magic, and they were like, no, we're not doing in vitro fertilization. We are doing magic babies.
Well, I mean, they could have tried that and it failed.
Or it could be a commentary on how society outlawed that, and so now we must resort to Cinemonster babies.
We must resort to magic babies.
Yeah.
I love this commentary.
April, what's your reaction to the Tomoe twins theory? Yeah, twins.
I think we would need confirmation of that, because my understanding is that like flashback is what Kagame views of that moment, right? So even though in that flashback there's no second child, but Kagame, if Lila was her sister, it's obvious that Kagame doesn't know that she's her sister.
Right. So I believe Kagame does not know that Lila is her sister. Yeah.
Yes. So the possibility of Lila being her sister is still very real. They could be twins. They could not be. But it's really hard based on a memory or a created memory by Kagame. Because that memory wasn't like Tomoe's, it was Kagame remembering it, right? Or at least that was my understanding of that scene.
Yeah, I mean, it's presented to the audience factually, so it's kind of hard to say. So we don't really know. It's not like it.
Yeah.
It's not really clear, but we are to believe that is what's happened. But yeah, I just think whether it's what you're saying or whether it's just that we didn't see the whole thing. It's like it's clear that there could be more to it. I mean, I think we will at some point see the full story. Like maybe we'll see it in play form. Maybe we'll see it in a movie.
I hope they acted out again.
I guess it was a movie last time. Yeah. What
it was
other form
both.
Could it be in? An interpretive dance. It could be a
painting.
A series of paintings. Maybe they play charades about the. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I haven't given you all of the reasons why what I'm saying is not true. So here are some cons with what I'm saying. The biggest one we already talked about is why have we not seen Lila transform before season 6? Because we see her put on wigs, we see her take on appearances that are similar to her existing appearance. And while I do think that, like I said before, is thematically satisfying because she's always been disguising herself, you would think she would just if she could shapeshift all along and she knew she could shapeshift, you think she would just shapeshift instead of putting on wigs and stuff before now. I think that's by far the biggest con. Now, some potential, and my voice is getting tired already. We haven't even gotten to the stuff. Some potential explanation. She didn't know she could shapeshift until season 6. Maybe Tomoe tells her, actually, you're a Cinemonster. Maybe she didn't even know she was a Cinemonster until now. Does she even know she's a Cinemonster at all? That's point number 2 we'll get to. But it's possible she didn't know she could do this and Tomoe told her, and now she realized it. But what I'm arguing is that she didn't gain this ability; she always had it. So it is a big hole in the theory that why didn't she use it before now? So I don't
She
really
just
know the answer to
I
that.
I think that yeah. I, I don't know. I think it's more plausible to I don't know. I'm very attached to my grimoire theory, and she read it in the grimoire and was like, "Oh, I can do this thing," right? So,
A lot changed for Lila between 5 and 6. So even if
yeah.
she had the ability or had access to the ability before then,
Mhm.
they could explain it
Yeah.
by
And
Tomoe's
I
involvement, the grimoire, the Peacock
yeah.
Miraculous. There's they could go in some directions here.
And I think the biggest reason why I'm attached to the grimoire theory is because we've seen evidence of them reading the grimoire and it like having outcomes, right? Like through their like abilities to like having aqua tiki, or you know what I mean, like, or them being able to keep their shape after using their lucky charm or cataclysm. So I think that there's a lot of evidence that would support her reading that like it's something she's always been able to do, but she's only just discovered it, versus like her being granted that ability through other means.
Yeah, we will see.
Yeah.
I think it would have helped if we'd seen. I mean, did we see her consulting the grimoire? Like, I mean, we see her scribbling a lot. I think that the season could have made things a little pointed us slightly in a direction if they had shown
Yes.
kind of more specifically what's going on. Okay. Reason number two. I won't spend too much time on this, but this is what I was researching with the Discord. Thank you for helping me, people with the Discord, on this. Is if Lila is a Senna monster, does she know
Mhm.
she's a Senna monster? And if she knows,
Yes.
why is she okay with Felix having the Peacock Miraculous? Because the owner of the Peacock Miraculous can snap a Senna monster out of existence, even if the person has their own amok object, which I kind of forgot about. So why is she okay
Oh.
with Felix? Felix could kill her at any time. Now, Felix would not do that, I believe, even if Felix knew she was evil and the holder of the butterfly miraculous. I don't think Felix would kill any Senna monster.
That
But
yes.
okay, and here's second problem. The episode Feast implies that the holder of the Peacock Miraculous can recognize any Senta monster in existence that they see a person, they know they're Senta monster, even if it's not, they didn't create that Senta monster. In the episode, Natalie recognizes that Feast is a Senta monster in the statue right away. In the episode Emotion in season 5, Felix recognizes Kagami as a Senna monster during the ball, potentially right away. It's kind of implied. So we have reason to believe that this is the ability someone who holds the Peacock Miraculous knows who's a Senna monster. So why does Felix not know Kagami is a Senna monster if she's Lila's a Senna monster if she's a Senna monster? Answer: Felix and Lila have actually never been in the same place
I was
They've
gonna
never
since
say
met.
Felix has
they've never
except
met.
except in the episode Yaxi Goes in the mid-season finale. I rewatched the scene. In the episode Yaxi Goes Lila akumatizes Tomoe into this giant thing, and the giant thing petrifies Felix and then eats her. And inside the belly of the creature, there's Lila, and Lila does interact with Felix. However, Felix is frozen the entire time. Felix is not conscious.
Yeah.
So Felix would not have had the opportunity to recognize that Lila's a Senna monster, and the episode specifically shows that Felix does not unfreeze until after she's pretty far away. She's kind of on the other side of the giant square, and Felix is focused on Kagami. So that could be evidence that Kagami is a Senna monster, because the one time
Well,
they're in the same room,
Yes.
he's frozen, and the show seems to go to big lengths to show him not having the ability to recognize her.
I will say this does what I like about this is that it's like it's hard to think that Lila doesn't know she's a scent monster if she is one.
She
But
just seems like she's like so aware of things now.
right.
I think she
Could could
knows.
could you, Delaney, could you see Lila not having known she's a Senna monster until this season?
Yeah, that would make sense.
And then,
Yeah.
Tomoe could have told her. I think that would be the big thing.
I think
Um,
that's the thing. I think she knows now.
Also, I do understand why she wouldn't necessarily be all up in arms about getting um the Peacock Miraculous would be she's so hell bent on like ruining Marinette's life.
Yeah, and it's unclear because Tomoe seems to also want to confirm that Marinette is the holder of the Butterfly Miraculous. It's kind of unclear to what extent she's colluding with Tomoe. It's kind of the big
Also,
question
it's
this season.
really also, I mean, and you know, we understand like, so she still wants the Miraculouses. Like, she's like, I want the earrings and I want the ring, but we don't know what she wants it for.
Well,
Like, presumably she wants to make a wish, but
Maybe
why?
she wants to wish herself into reality and not be a Cinemonster.
I want to be a real boy.
I want to be a real boy. But she's only ever asked for the like Miraculouses like a couple of times this season. That hasn't been like a very
potentially an ancillary motivation. She does try to get both of them in Nemesis, but yeah, it seems to be revealing Marinette's identity.
I think the only time that she's gone to try and like obtain them is whenever it's come to her trying to prove Marinette is or isn't Ladybug to herself. And so I still don't think that she wants to make any kind of wish because we haven't seen
I wonder if she got them, if she would just give them to Tomoe. Like, she like what matters to her is is Marinette, and then
what matters to her is ruining Marinette's life. I don't think
and we know
making a wish.
And we know
this brings up an interesting.
The kingdom wants to make a wish.
Yeah.
The kingdom. So here, point number 3: where's her mucked object? And so Delaney says she might want to give them to Tomoe. Does Tomoe have her object? Is Tomoe controlling her? Is that a possibility?
I have no idea.
No, because I feel like Tomoe would have
Tomoe seems agitated with her, and it seems in several scenes Lila seems to be like looming over Tomoe. It seems like Tomoe would just like control her if she could. But where's her object? I don't think that's like a con to the theory. Like, her object could be whatever. So we could figure it out. But just some other information. Yes, Lila should know Felix has the Peacock Miraculous because in Emotion, Felix announced himself. In Yoxi Goes In, they say they want to spy inside the Miraculous, implies they know Felix has the Peacock Miraculous. In Yoxi Goes In, the plan is to kidnap Felix and replace his ring with a fake one in order to control him as a spy. I think that's kind of a weird plan for Lila to bring up if she knows Felix has the Peacock. Wouldn't she also want to take the Peacock Miraculous from him at that point just to control her own destiny? Maybe that was something she was also planning on doing, although she didn't do that. She had Felix. I need to I was rewatching this. I need to see, does he still have the Peacock on him inside the thing? Maybe not. I think maybe he got rid of it before. But anyway, I think that episode's just a little weird if Lila knows Felix has the Peacock, which she does, and then also knows she's a Cinemonster. It just feels like she should have different motivations, but maybe not. But it's not a definitive thing. And and at the bottom here I said it's possible Lila didn't even know she was a Cinemonster at all or until recently. So that I think the best explanation is if Tomoe tells her in between seasons 5 and 6 she's a Cinemonster you can transform, and that's why she didn't do it until now. But the reason she got dressed up in wigs and stuff is because she has that innate inkling that that's what she's meant to do, even if she doesn't have access to the power.
Change her shape.
Yeah. Or Tomoe was guiding her to do that. She just didn't want to unleash her fully yet. I think there's ways, but again, now I'm bringing in additional things. So I think, and even in my theory, which I think is the only real plausible explanation with no more information, even to fully explain it, you need to bring in more information. So the answer ultimately is like, we just need to see next season what they're going to tell us, what they're going to do. Delaney, after having heard that possibility, you initially thought it was technology. We've also heard about the blue lightning. What are you leaning towards right now?
It's tech.
Yeah, so explain that a little more. Why do you think it's tech?
I mean, it'd be like, it's hard to speculate about magic ability. But with the Miraculous. So like, it could be that. I don't know. I think it makes more sense given, so she hasn't always been able to do it. And she's working with Tomoe. And it kind of lines up with the weird stuff Tomoe's doing, like the aura rings, whatever they were, the alliance rings. And yeah, I just think it's probably something like that. I think it makes the most sense, I think, in the universe that it'd be some sort of tech.
I mean, the obvious counterpoint to that is like, technology in our world can't make someone look like someone else? You know, like what is
Yeah.
that? How is the technology doing that?
Holograms.
Like I think like it's some sort of like I think it would be like the natural like we don't have holograms. They had holodad.
I do think in some ways they have more advanced technology than us. So look, I mean, they have, as shows often do. I'm rewatching Legend of Korra Book One, by the way, coming soon on the podcast, and they have the leader of tech innovation, and so it's like if you have a character who's like the tech leader, you can kind of do whatever you want. You can
Yeah, you
introduce
can
new
do whatever you want.
technology.
Yeah.
So I do think that is in play, some sort of tech. I suspect that's not the full reason. Like I suspect there's like a magic show. I suspect that there's going to be magic involved.
Well, we also know, they broke down the original objects and made and made the rings.
Right,
I mean,
could be tech enhanced
Yeah.
miraculouses or magic.
It definitely could be like, it could be both.
Mhm. I
I
could see
just
Mm.
it.
don't know about Monster. Like, we just don't know. And I'm not confident. To me, the tech or tech plus magic makes the most sense.
Yeah, but last podcast, Delaney, you were buying that Lila's a Cinnamon.
Now, I think I do like I don't think like I think Lila could be a Sentimonster. I just don't buy that that's the reason she can shapeshift.
Yeah, that's also true. She could be a Cinnamon monster separately, and then she gains this abilities not from the fact she could have just been a real boy like
Yeah.
Kagami.
Yes, that's how I feel.
Possible. April, where are you leaning right now?
I think she is definitely a Sentimonster. I think she's getting her shapeshifting abilities from that alone. And that's what I'm buying.
Are you still on the all Cinnamon monsters can shapeshift, or are you more buying Lila specifically can shapeshift?
I think all Sentimonsters can shapeshift. Because that would be that would add such an interesting element to all of this. But I think
now
that
you need now in order to combat the fact that Lila can shapeshift, we need to tell Adrien that he's a Cinnamon monster, so then he can shapeshift too and combat her shapeshifting.
Exactly. How else will we defeat her if we're not shapeshifting over here?
Well, I guess Kagami could just do it in Felix. They know that they are.
Yeah. I think the shapeshifting is definitely tied to her being a Sentimonster. I'm not entirely sure how, but I think that's what it is, right? Because that makes sense to me because you can make anything out of an amok and you can control it if you have the object that the amok is inside of. So I think it's obvious that she has her own amok, so why wouldn't she be able to use that? Like in the same way that Gabriel was able to control Adrien, why wouldn't she be able to quote unquote control herself? Because you can change the shape of them.
I mean,
right?
Gabriel could control Adrien, but he couldn't change his shape that we know of.
But we didn't see him do that. That's the thing, right?
So you're saying there will be an expansion to come. And I still think definitely plausible. And I will say that I still on her being innately a shapeshifter, and I guess talking it out, the thing that makes the most sense as to why she didn't do it until this season is the fact that Tomoe comes to her in between seasons, potentially via the blue lightning. I don't know how that works. I don't know. And then Tomoe
technology.
See, it really feels like magic, but again, it's hard to say. And then Tomoe introduces the fact that she can shapeshift. It does seem like a stretch to me. I'll say I think people are going to say it's a stretch. The fact that she could shapeshift, she just didn't know about it until Tomoe told her. I think people are going to say it's a stretch. I still think it's a stretch, but I think it's the thing that makes the most sense right now. So we'll continue to think about it. We'll check in on the big Lila mystery. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Tell us what theory are you buying? I predict most people still say blue lightning, but people seem to really be on the blue lightning.
No,
but we will see.
I don't buy the blue lightning. You got to really sell me on it, guys. Come on, the
one thing about and it's because it was in the finale. The one thing I will say about that season 5 finale epilogue is that production was kind of in in flux at that point. Like they
Yeah.
didn't they like potentially wrote season 5 initially without knowing if they were getting season 6 and 7, and then they maybe made a new version. And so it's like I don't think we should hold them 100% to every single thing that's in the epilogue, considering they didn't exactly know what was coming next, and maybe they added that scene in late, and maybe they didn't have season 6 fully planned out. So that's what I would say. If they
They could
never
have
address
also
Blue Lightning
decided to
again,
scrap it, like.
right, so that they could have decided to scrap that plotline once they develop season 6 more. I do think that they will ultimately explain it, just because I think Thomas loves getting into things
He
like
loves
this.
the long
So
con.
yeah. Okay. Last thing I'll say, I think kudos to this show for having honestly the most intricate, interesting and intricate lore of like
Yes.
anything in television or movies. I'm so much more interested in this. This is so much deeper than anything in Marvel, anything in DC with in the films, right? Like this is like genuinely, I think Ladybug is like this kid show is like has much more complex. It does a big reveal like this. There's so many possibilities. Like I think it's kind of doing it better than anything else in the media space right now.
It's definitely complicated.
People, I wonder if people are going to be burnt out. Like Delaney's probably burnt out. So let's get to
I am burnt out.
the.
That's fair.
I literally said in the group that I was like, I'm gonna retire. I can't do 5 more years of this, guys. Like I'm wore out.
Well, let's talk about a more fun topic for you that Marinette and Adrien are going to break up. Here's what I said before in the break, and I'll say it again for the timestamp here. But Marinette and Adrien don't actually break up at the end of the season. Marinette, let's recap what Marinette says at the end of Nemesis. She says, "Alya's right. I can't be with Adrien and keep lying to him, but I can't tell him the truth either. I don't have a choice. We're over." So she declares the intent.
She broke up with Tiki.
We're over Tiki.
We're over Tiki.
She declared well dramatically while sitting in the rain. She declares the intent to break up with Adrien because she can't do both at once, be with Adrien and lie to him. She thinks she can't lie to him because she's too overwhelmed with it and doesn't know how to articulate it to him without devastating him. So she believes that she has to break up with him. She hasn't literally done this yet. So I guess the first question is are we going to start season 7 with an episode where Marinette breaks up with Adrien, or are they already broken up, or is this not something that's going to literally play out in the beginning of season 7, the fact that they're broken up?
It doesn't make sense for them to break up.
Like, the show's evil. I think they're going to break up.
Well, because like it just doesn't make sense, because even if they break up, she's still keeping the secrets from Adrien.
But she doesn't have to lie to him every day.
I mean, but she would still be lying to him every day.
So number one, they're 15, and
That's
then
true.
number two, the show is evil, and it's going to do whatever hurts the most people possible.
Right. April's point is like they break up. Okay, are they never going to talk again? So isn't she still lying to him?
Are
right?
They just going to avoid each other?
What difference does it make?
I don't know if like. Maybe what would be great is if they just did this for like shock factor, and then we're just we never talk about it again. That's not going to happen. Or like I like this, like Marinette, you were so close to a come to Jesus moment. We're so close.
Yeah, it's like she's like, oh, I have to change something. Oh, the thing I'm going to change is I'm going to break up with Adrien.
Yeah,
right.
I'm going to tell him the truth.
Like I don't know what she needs to do. Like I don't know if we need therapy. Like. I don't know, but something's going to have to give.
We did do a lot of therapy this season.
I will say surely to God, the first episode of season 7 is not Marinette breaking up with Adrien. That would suck so bad.
I mean, they could maybe we come in and they have broken up, and Adrien's really sad and devastated, and then Adrien gets like akumatized, and that's the first episode of the season.
I don't even know. Like it makes my head hurt.
Here's a reason why this is annoying is, didn't we do this already in like the season 3, I think, finale, where it ends and Marinette's dating Luca and Adrien's dating Kagami, and everyone's like, oh no, Marinette and Adrien are never going to be together. Perfect. Like it feels like exactly like that.
It does. And it's just like, I don't know what we're going to do. Like Marinette, just tell him. Like, and I don't even know what she's going to tell him first. Because the thing is, so Marinette can't keep lying to Adrien, which is fair, except so she doesn't have to. So like she could just tell him as Ladybug, because she can't tell him as Marinette. Now, obviously, that would suck, and obviously, Marinette and Ladybug are the same person, but, like, it's like, and I get it, it's all tied up in her head, like, because she, but I don't know, we've now told Alya and her parents, is the next move, she reveals that she's Ladybug, and then is like, oh, by the way, like, what, like, I don't even know, like, it makes my head hurt. How long are we going to go on with this? And it's also interesting because we do secret protocol, and it's like you have to protect your secret identity. But then, like, I mean, granted, I don't blame her. She had to tell her parents. Like, that was the only move. Like, also, I would do for a moment want to talk about how insane it is for you to be like, I don't know who's in my house, and you let your 15-year-old daughter like go investigate.
Thank you.
That was crazy.
Marinette's like, wait here, Mom and Dad.
Dad.
Yeah, like that. Absolutely insane. And like,
to be fair, they do come in behind her a few seconds later, but the fact that they let that happen is
absolutely
maybe
insane.
They were just so frozen in their fear. They were like, right.
I think that's what the episode's saying. Is like
obviously, like, Marinette is Ladybug, but like, oh my god, what a concept. Like, just that was insane.
You know what I liked about that was that it shows that Marinette's parents had a sense of Marinette as like some sort of confident, authoritative leader. Even if they don't literally know she's Ladybug, they kind of got the general gist of
they took her lead on it
right now. Like they like, and it makes you think that they've defaulted to her lead before. And so even though and so it makes sense maybe why there's not such a seismic shift in them learning that she's Ladybug, because it's already like shaped their view of her, even if they didn't specifically know that she's Ladybug.
Yeah.
Which I think was done really well.
I think the problem with Marinette breaking up with Adrien over keeping the secrets from him is that she hasn't learned how to not take home her work. And so she's taking a lot of Ladybug's responsibility and dumping it on herself.
I like that. Like, Marinette is a peon of capitalism, and she hasn't learned that at 5 o'clock you clock out, Marinette. You don't pay. You don't do unpaid overtime.
You don't do unpaid overtime. But I think that
Thomas would make that analogy, by the way. So we should be on the lookout for that.
I was like, write it down because it's coming. I think the other thing too is that it makes me feel like her revealing the Gabriel information is even more tied up in her identity, like in the reveal of her identity as Ladybug. So
that's what this is all turned into, is because she is keeping so many secrets. Because it's not just that anymore.
Well, it's not even that she's keeping so many secrets, it's that she's keeping so many secrets and she's tying them up together, right? Because she could very easily, as Marinette, not associated with Ladybug by any means, reveal that like Monarch was Gabriel. She has that letter. She has that ability. But it's the fact that it just seems like she's like tying them together unnecessarily. She's like, well, I can't tell him that his dad was Monarch because then I have to tell him that I'm Ladybug. And then as Ladybug, I have to tell him that he's a Sentimont. You know what I mean? Like, she's tying them all together when she doesn't need to be tying them all together. So, and that's just like making it even worse for herself.
Which I agree with. And I think I like that the show is doing this. If you are going to punt your dad is Gabriel, is Hawkmoth into next season, which is one of the most frustrating things Ladybug has done in its history. To be fair, like, this is I'm mostly defending it just because I know people are really upset, but like, this is one of the most frustrating things Ladybug has ever done. I am upset, but the reason why it's not so terrible is because that they are thematically tying it into the other secrets Marinette's keeping from Adrien, which are more consequential and more genuinely we understand why she wouldn't be able to tell him he's a Sentimonster. Like, that's like a very hard, world-shattering thing to tell him, and we understand why she can't tell him she's Ladybug, I guess because the show has tried to convince us that she can't for almost every episode for the past 10 years. But they have put in the work to do that. So those two secrets that we get, and so by tying it in, it's more complex thematically secrets that she's lording over her, and it makes you think that the other secrets are in play now heading into next season. It makes you think that, like, is
Well,
it genuinely possible Marinette tells Adrien she's Ladybug in season 7? Like, I'm sure it won't happen, but
yeah.
thematically that seems to be in play
But
here.
but the problem with, I mean, that seems to be what's in play, but I guess the con of that is that they're not going to do one of those things unless they're ready to do all of those things, which means that it may not be until like season 8 or 9 that we get the reveal of any of
Yeah,
these things. So
I
like it's just going to continue to be frustrating.
right. That's what Marinette's thinking right now. I don't buy that the show will only reveal to Adrien that his dad was Monarch when it is also revealed to him that he's a Senna monster and Marinette is Ladybug. I think that reveal will still come first, even if Marinette is tying them together in her heads. I also
Mhm.
think that reveal will probably come pretty early in season 7. Would be my guess right now. Like, I think the show has kind of done this before, where instead of at the end of the season, it kind of punts it
They
to
like
it.
to
It has done
do, yeah.
it's done big things in the beginning of seasons. So I could that's a big solace here. It's like if they just wanted to wait to season 7 to do this in a particular order because they want to like season 5, the first few episodes play out in a specific order that reveals, or maybe even season 4, then Alya learns that Marinette's Ladybug. If they want to do that, then I think that would be a lot less frustrating than punting it to the next season's finale. Here's something I wrote down for, I think this finale, which ties into this, I think this finale is hurt by maybe this whole season needing to be able to be played out of
Yeah.
order, potentially due to production reasons,
Right.
because that they're developing the new
Yeah.
animation and they know the episodes are going to come out inconsistently. So they're like, the weakest part of this finale is that it's kind of just the same things that we've seen in previous episodes. Alya's trying to figure out what happened with Monarch. We've seen her
Yeah.
do that before. Alya's mad at Marinette lying to her. We've seen that before, and
We've
then
seen that.
she loses her memory of that. Marinette's reaching a breaking point on lying to Adrien. We've seen that 3 times in previous episodes. That's the weakest thing, is we saw that already. And like, I wonder if the finale can only just recap them, because it's kind of like it doesn't fully make sense, but it's like it hasn't been able to build up to a big reveal. Those things have kind of just been having to happen. And so if season 7 is maybe able to be in a specific order, then they can maybe start to genuinely build up to this in a way that's more appropriate to them.
I would argue that the only thing that has appropriately been built up is Marinette, not even just Marinette, just Adrien finding out that his dad was Monarch, right? Like, if any one thing has been built up, even with these episodes out of order, you can still see like that it's all kind of coming to a head, especially in Nemesis, whenever, like Marinette snaps at Adrien, right? Like and even says like she outright tells him like your dad was not a good person, and even though she can only reveal her reasons from like Marinette's side of things, she's still, I mean, but that's even not like a reveal in and of itself, right? Because we
I,
already
I
know
think
all
though
of
I
that.
think the show did really build up well to this reveal in this finale. I
Yeah.
don't think I think it
i'm
maybe
i
didn't give itself enough credit. Like, I think those few episodes where Marinette has the letter and then doesn't give him the letter, then is about to give him the letter. Like, I think those are all incredibly well done. And if she had
yeah,
revealed it and finally given him the letter in this finale, I think it would have been really, really
it would
satisfying.
have been so satisfying, and I think that is maybe why I have mixed feelings about this finale too, is just because like the one thing that you've literally been building up to this whole entire season you didn't do. And I know that they've done that to us before and it's not anything new. But if it doesn't happen like right, like if you're gonna reveal any one thing, it should be this and it should be right away. But I almost am like laughing at myself for thinking that it was going to potentially happen, because I'm like, last podcast I was just like, well, are they gonna change the the opening sequence? No, now they don't have to change the opening
Now they don't have
sequence.
to change it.
They've saved
Yay.
themselves money, right? So like, I don't know.
And more importantly, Ladybug's done its support. And one thing in defense of how this finale handles not doing this reveal is that
Hmm.
I think the show Marinette's talking to Adrien on Zoom, is on the Zoo
Yeah.
app for some reason. I guess that's FaceTime too. It can, and Adrian's like, I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna turn the house into a museum for my dad. I'm gonna, use your portrait of him as the centerpiece.
Also, he needs
And
to get
so-
updated blueprints of the house because he's missing some rooms.
He's missing a crucial, one
Yeah.
crucial subterranean room.
Yeah, you don't.
But I guess that room is collapsed in itself and maybe doesn't
Well,
exist
and
anymore.
Marinette said she cleaned it up.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well,
I
if she
feel like
cleaned
you
it
can't
up, then it would be back intact, right?
Can we send archaeologists in to excavate the dead wife garden?
Oh,
This
isn't
is a piece of
Natalie
history.
an
It really we can't.
archaeologist?
I think literally. Can we send Natalie in to excavate the dead wife garden for her competing lover for
Do
Gabriel?
we know what happened to Gabriel and what is it?
Emily? What happened to
Emily's
their bodies?
bodies?
I think they got wished out of existence, which maybe means they physically don't exist. But yeah, well, I don't know. But they
Well,
just
then
die, or
did
their
they
body.
have a funeral? Like, was there a wake?
I think we should send archaeologist Natalie in to really figure out
Yes.
what's going on down there. What were we talking about before the dead wife garden?
Just
The thing.
Yeah.
It's so the Adrian's like, we're gonna turn this into a museum.
Museum.
So I think it does convince you that Marinette, even if she tells him through Ladybug, it would genuinely really devastate Adrien at this point because she screwed up so much with continuing
screwed
to
up
lie.
so
This would be so devastating. I think that's the point. That's like the big thing they're trying to communicate is like Marinette has good reason to be hesitant on telling him because he is like, oh, I'm deciding this for myself. He tells Marinette, I love this line. You told me I was the only one who got to decide what to do with my life. Now you're bothered by it, in reference to Marinette giving him the rings in the season 5 finale. That's like the one thing that he could have told her at that point that resulted in Marinette not telling him the truth.
Well,
She's
that
like,
also...
you told me I get to do what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And and Marinette knows that the only reason he wants to do that is because she manipulated him. But now she's going to manipulate him again into not thinking that. It's just like such a messed up thing.
And Alya also drives home that point because she says you don't get to decide for other people what's good for them.
And Adrien says, this is what I want. And so if Adrien wants to live in the lie, who is she to get rid of the lie? Well, the answer is she's the one who put the lie there in the first place.
Yeah.
But I think the episode genuinely presents an interesting like conundrum here, like with this. So at least it makes a good attempt here.
It's such an interesting conundrum again because because Ladybug is the one who lied, and we know that it was Marinette, right? But again, she's like putting that onto herself. Like it was Ladybug's lie.
She knows she's Ladybug, so if it's her conscience,
knows she's Ladybug. So, but again, like she could very easily like dissolve herself of all of this. All she has to do is drop that letter somewhere. Just drop it. Just drop it on the ground in Adrien's room.
She would know that she's the one who broke his heart again.
Yes,
like she would know that.
She would know that, but if we're gonna lie, why don't we just keep the lying game going?
So she's done that. Okay. Can we talk about this for a minute? Let's really unpack it. Okay, so because this sucks, and my wife's like, anyway, Marinette she's having a rough time. Okay, and anytime you feel bad about yourself, you just need to remember at least you're not 15 with a secret identity, and you've been lying to your boyfriend this whole time about his dad being a supervillain. If you need some context for your life, you should feel better because
you hear that, children? You're listening.
Yeah,
just tell yourself you're not Marinette.
Oh my god. Okay, so but literal context though. So like, if we let's take this through, what would happen? So Marinette has manipulated poor Adrien, and he's like, yeah, I'm okay with my dad, and I feel better about it now. And now Marinette's like, oh my god, like everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong, and now we're like, all right, we're gonna do what April says. We're gonna be like, I'm Ladybug. I suck. I have lied to you in the world. Your dad was Hawkmoth. Here's a letter. Deuces. Marinette knocks on the door and is like, I'm going to cuddle my boyfriend after I just ruined his life, but he doesn't know it was me. Like,
kind of tough. Kind of tough.
It's hard. And it's hard, but at the same time, it could happen.
It doesn't get better.
I think breaking up and from Marinette's point of view, what Delaney's saying, Marinette breaking up with him is easier than what Delaney just described.
It's actually the same thing.
But she's still
calling your employee and firing him over the phone, and then akumatizing him because you fired him over the phone.
Marinette has become Hawkmoth. The cycle is complete.
That's like, and granted, I will say I don't necessarily like. I'm not one to lie. I don't like lying. I'm bad at it.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm not so much sure that I agree with Alya's stance that there's no reason to ever lie. So because obviously, I understand Alya's perspective.
Right, but
Finally,
yeah, no.
I
And
agree.
for context,
but
Alya's a reporter, and she's that's like who she is, right?
No,
So she
I feel like
wants
also-
to
that's
drive
just
at the
Alya's
truth.
excuse to be nosy.
Oh, absolutely. But also, I don't know. So it's interesting. I understand why they didn't bring it up because it wouldn't have helped Marinette's case at all. But like, Marinette, Alya found out and demanded that her memory be wiped, and then she figured it out again. So Marinette had to get like roasted again. Like, it's just
Mhm.
The
rough.
other thing that's interesting about Alya is because she's like, you have to tell him I'm not going to lie to you anymore. Great, Alya, go tell him. Just go tell him. Like, you don't want to lie because now she's going to have to lie and she's going to go against her own word. So
I just
like,
it is an absolute mess.
yes.
And no, I agree. There is a solution, and it's give Adrien the letter. Now, that sucks. I'm also 30 years old, and I would be like, here's the letter.
Right. I don't have time for
But
your 15-year-old
I'm not
games.
15 with a secret
The less
identity.
having sat through many TV shows, especially children's shows with morals about lying, the answer is always just like tell the truth. Like even if
Yes.
it's like you just need
Yeah.
if you tell the truth as early as you can, you minimize the impact. Even if the
Yes.
truth hurts now, by
Yes.
holding on to it for longer, it's going to hurt you. Which Marinette should have
Yes.
learned now because it has gotten worse for her. But yeah, if Marinette gives Adrien the letter as Ladybug in the season 7 premiere, now Adrien as Cat
also-
Noir is angry at
But-
Ladybug, and
but
there's like a
then-
Ladybug Cat Noir
Also,
breakup.
we also need to put into perspective. Also, this is all Gabriel's fault. Gabriel also
Yes.
with
Gabriel
his
told
dying
Marinette child to lie
Yes.
for him.
with his
Yeah.
dying action. He is a literal supervillain. This is all his fault.
But and
And
why
then he
is
was
she
like-
why does she keep doing that for him?
Well, then there's
For
also the idea
Adrien?
of there is
Thinks.
there is also this idea of honoring the last will and testament.
No,
And, like,
he was a bad guy.
I think yeah. I mean, at this
I
point,
agree
Marinette's
with
just
you.
doing it. Marinette's just doing it because for Adrien's sake. But honestly, can we
Adrien's sake.
dive into that a second? This whole Marinette is still
Yes.
devastated by the effects of what Gabriel, with his dying wishes, told her to do.
He's still
Like,
the villain even after
his-
his
no,
death.
Sucks so bad.
his impact, a
Yes.
season later, he's still controlling everything.
Yes.
So bad, and that's why he's still in the title sequence, and he sucks so bad.
That's why he's the most iconic. Lila can never compare to
The
the impact
worst.
this man
Like,
has had on the world.
I
You
don't
absolute
understand.
jerk.
I don't understand. Like, okay, I understand Marinette's motivation to break up with Adrien because she can't tell him the truth. But like, what does that solve? It doesn't solve anything. It doesn't like take away the fact that she's still lying to him, or you know what I mean? Like that she still knows the truth, unless like she's gonna break up with him and then be like,
Well,
oh, by the way, your dad was Hawkmoth.
Okay, I
Bye."
did have this funny thought that she was like, she breaks up with him and leaves the letter and then like leaves.
Oh my gosh, yes, that's what I want. If you're gonna do this, do it that way.
Here's the thing. In this finale, Adrien says, "I want to live in this world where my dad is good." And so
Okay.
Marinette can let him respect his wishes and let him and not continue to be an abusive girlfriend by just breaking up with him and not being in his life anymore. So in her mind, I think it's like, let him live in the world he wants to and not continue to manipulate him. I just need to not be in his life, which is very sad, but that's the point
which
we're
is
at.
horrible and not what we should do, but is what's happening.
No, apparently. The other,
as per usual, Marinette is making problems for herself.
She could
but
still,
on top of this, again,
she could still tell him.
Hawkmoth's fault. I hate him.
Yes, she could still tell him, and then he can then decide. Like, if he wants
Also-
to live in the lie of his dad being a hero, he is more than welcome to do that, as long as he also knows that his dad was not the hero.
Also, Natalie is still a problem. Natalie
Oh.
is also making Marinette maintain this
Yes,
lie.
and Natalie's also been
Yes.
to bad influence. But I do like that the finale doesn't bring Natalie into it and let it be like Marinette's like, oh well, Natalie, like this is Marinette's decision, and now the fans get to hate her. But if we brought Natalie in, there'd be an excuse. But they're making it really about Marinette's character.
I almost wish that they would have,
for some reason,
Marinette would have consulted Natalie again. I mean, I
So,
understand her not.
So Michael, so I said earlier that this is rock bottom, but it's not. They haven't broken up yet. So
No.
what is going to happen now? Like, because they've talked about that. It's like, Marinette, you've been really stressed, you've been really tired, you've been paranoid. Like, where does this end? Like, where are
Yeah,
we?
so I could see that the premiere. So first of all, I would say
Like,
I
is
always
this
talk about how.
Spider-Man Brand New Day? Like, what are we doing?
Oh my gosh, I watched
Well,
that
I mean,
movie and
I don't think what do you, Delaney? I'm pretty sure you've not seen this movie. So how are you referencing the movie?
Because I've seen all of it on Twitter.
I've actually seen. I saw it
April's
last
okay.
night.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers. But the secret identity. But I don't think it's a spoiler that the secret identity thing is something, a topic of conversation in
Okay,
Brand New
interesting.
Day.
Interesting. Okay.
So
well, don't spoil us in the con. I haven't seen. Don't spoil
I'm
us
not
in the cons.
spoiling anything. I'm just
apparently
saying.
Delaney's
But
seen
it was
the whole
also
movie.
it was also a thing in No Way Home, right? So like everyone
I'd have
finding
to
out that.
remember
Well, I
anything
mean,
in
it all
No Way Home.
started in Homecoming, so
That's also true.
I have to remember what happened in episode Feast in season 3 of Ladybug. I have no space in my brain for remembering old Spider-Man movies.
well, I haven't even seen No Way Home.
Oh no,
Delaney!
Delaney, it's such a good movie. Go watch it.
There's
Okay,
so
I don't
much
know.
Marvel. I don't have time. You're like,
Which
No,
is No Way Home
You
the
don't-
first or the second one?
No Way Home is the third one. Okay, just go
Oh,
watch
I've seen the
it.
first
It's
good.
so
one with Tom
good.
Holland.
It's okay. Anyway,
Just go watch
back to
it.
so what's gonna happen in the premiere? So Marinette, I could see them doing a thing where Marinette's like, Adrien, we need to break up, and he's like, why? And he's like, well, I need a satisfying answer from you, and he's like chasing her down, and so throughout the premiere. And this continues into some form, in a different form, with Ladybug and Cat Noir. And it's like Marinette's trying to break up with him, and Adrien like won't accept the
it.
distance. And so then like he corners her, and she finally spits out the truth or something. And that's like within the first few episodes. But like there's so I was going to say, I do think, as frustrating as it is, this show has done such a good job of exploring the narrative space, as I've said a million times, of Marinette and Adrien dating without knowing each other, are the corresponding superheroes that they work with. They've done such a painstaking good job with this the past 2 seasons. There is interesting narrative space of them being broken up, but still being superheroes together, and how that plays out. It's probably too depressing of one for this show to explore fully, but I think there are a lot of potentially interesting things they could do. They've broken up, but they still have to see each other as Ladybug and Cat Noir, but they don't know each other, Ladybug and Cat Noir. But so I think that there's a lot of possibilities for this heading into season 7. I guess I'm kind of selling that they will just be broken up for most of next season. What do you guys think? So that's the big question. I think if they're going to be broken up, it's like for a few episodes at the beginning of the season.
I don't even know.
Delaney, what's your prediction?
Boo. They won't be broken up. This will all be resolved in an episode or 2.
Yeah. So like they're not even going to really break up officially.
Yes.
That's your prediction.
Because it might be horrible. Like we might do this whole like revealing the truth thing, but they will not actually break up. And am I straight up Delulu? Possibly.
April, what's your prediction? Is Delaney Delulu?
I don't know. I think
for this reason.
No, not for this reason. I think that it's so complicated because I think the show, like we took so much time to get them into a relationship, right? And so I feel like the show isn't going to give up on that easily. And who's to say that they won't break up, but then Marinette finds the courage to give Adrien the letter within a couple of episodes, or it's something along those lines of like they could actually break up because Marinette tells Adrien the truth finally, right? And maybe that's what she means by like.
So that's true. Even if Marinette tells Adrien the truth, he's going to be pissed at her.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy with her.
Yeah,
right?
Oh, so I feel like April's the Delulu one now. You're saying you're interpreting Marinette's like word over because she's actually going to tell him the truth, and she thinks that'll break them up.
Yeah.
I like this one.
Actually, I like that. I like that better. Well, it's so dramatic, right? And the show loves drama, so why wouldn't they do that? Versus like like Marinette trying to break up with him, but Adrien's not having it. It seems more within character for both of them. For Marinette to be like, I'm giving you this letter, and then Adrien breaks up with her because of it. Or like he needs his space from her, or whatever it looks like. Which
Or
would
Marinette
then
tells Marinette thinks about it more, and she says, we're over, but it's because I have to tell him the truth, and I know he's going to break up with me.
break
But
with
that, I
me.
mean, even though she might do it as Ladybug, but then Adrien is actually like more understanding, and that they don't.
I
Actually
don't
break
think he's
up.
going to be understanding. I think he's going to be upset, and I think that with that upset, it has the potential to lead into so many other things, because then with that upset, then Adrien as Cat Noir feels like he needs to be closer with Ladybug, or he fights with Ladybug about it. It's gonna have a big impact no matter what. And it's just a matter of which relationship is going to take the hit. Is it going to be Cat Noir and Ladybug, or is it going to be Adrien and Marinette?
It's complicated when you factor in the alternate identities.
You kind
Here's
of
the
have
thing:
you have to,
let
and the only reason why you have to is because we literally watched Cat Noir lose his mind, but like break formation, just do whatever he wanted to because of Marinette. So he's taking his personal life to work.
They're both doing it.
Yeah, Marinette's taking work home, and Adrien's taking his personal life to work. So, like, one of those, I guess it's just a matter of decide, like, in terms of like what's going to happen. You have to decide which relationship you want to watch fail. Do you want to watch Adrien and Marinette fail, or do you want to watch Ladybug and Cat Noir break up? Because
it seems like we have one iteration. But here's the thing: here's the fanfic. So Marinette breaks up with Adrien. Doesn't
Okay.
nothing about the
She doesn't tell him.
Someone's already writing the fanfic. She doesn't tell him why. She breaks up, and now Ladybug and Cat are on their next mission. They know that they both found someone, and so Marinette starts telling Cat. Ladybug starts telling Cat,
Okay.
"Oh, actually, I had to break up with my boyfriend." And Kat's like, wow, what a coincidence. My girlfriend just broke up with me. And that's how the identity reveal happens.
LOL.
Perfect. I want that. That's what we get in the beginning of season 7, the identity reveal.
And then we're happy again.
Yes.
Okay, that's what's going to... Yeah, I guess my prediction is they do a few episodes of them broken up. It's not going to be like a traditional breakup. I just think there is kind of some creative things they could do here.
They don't break up. They put distance between them. So
a few episodes of a breakup or distance, okay. Half a season, that's gonna be tough. But like,
it could also happen.
A full season, do not do this to us. Do not do a full season, please.
But here's the other thing. I don't think that they will actually fully break up. They can't, because how do we then get them back together?
Well, also the show is the two of them, so like it's just it's the format of the show. It's going to be hard for them to be I broken up. I think it'll be less painful than people think. I actually think a lot of fans will thrive if they start to yearn for each other again. Like we go back to that space. Like they're not together, but they're still wanting to be.
They want to. Like Adrien's like, I'm so mad at Marinette, but I just want to go hang out with her. Yeah. Or like he like finds himself like texting her, and then he's like, no, and he's deleting the text and Clog's like, what are you doing?
I feel like people would love it, honestly. Like I know people are going to be pissed right now, but I don't know. I think this is people ultimately just want to be in that yearning space with characters.
I think that's that'll happen. They're going to break up.
Okay.
Somehow.
We'll see. We'll see. Let us know in the comments. How long are they breaking up? How long is it going to last? What form is it going to take? Are you excited or are you devastated? No one's going to be excited. But there you go. That is, I mean, I probably have other things written down about the breakup. I'll say, I read the ending. Last thing I'll say, the ending is like less of Marinette and Adrien are broken up now. More of Marinette has finally reached the breaking point on the line.
They're not broken up yet. But
and so that's why it's like the finale. Marinette, the whole season is leading up to Marinette finally reaching the breaking point on lying. What I would argue though is she already reached the breaking point like 3 other times this season. It was just like not 100%. It was like 99% of the way there. And so now you're doing it 100%. That's like not the most satisfying thing to do.
I think the thing that pushed it over the edge is Alya. because she can't erase Alya's memory this time.
Oh, yeah. So let's talk about that. Okay. Very quickly going through the last few topics. Alya permanently knows about Gabriel being monarch. She was pissed about Marinette the whole episode lying. I think, Delaney, you've referenced it already, but how do you think this is going to go moving forward? Is Alya just going to keep being pissed about Marinette? Is Alya going to force Marinette to do anything here?
No, I don't think so. I think, she said her piece, and she's probably going to be pretty cold. And I mean, maybe we won't even see Alya that much, depending on how this plays out. Like maybe it's strictly
that's true.
professional
Alya could be a little bit
relationship.
off the show. Yeah, Alya's just there sometimes.
I think they would have to keep her off the show because she threatened Marinette, right? I'm not gonna keep lying for you. You have to tell him. And so the only way for Alya to not tell him is to not have her around.
Alya says, I'm still your stand-in, but if you want to stay my best friend, don't ever lie to me again. So Alya says the professional relationship is still there, right? It's just not the personal one. And no, she also doesn't break up with Marinette. She says, this is the last straw, do not do it again. So in theory, they should still be friends, but it seems like it'll be contentious. At least on Alya's part.
Well, and because she's like, I'm not gonna keep lying for you. Like, I'm not playing your game. So
if Marinette breaks up with Adrien and Alya knows that she did that without telling him the truth, is that the last straw for Alya? And now Alya's gone from Marinette's life too for an episode or two or some period.
I don't know. We've broken up with Alya and gotten back together with her before. So, because of Lila. So funny enough. But
about that.
But I don't know. Like, I think that if the show wants Marinette to tell Adrien and not, because you can't like make Alya angry about all of this stuff and then her to go back on her word, right? So I feel like we're not going to see Alya as much, if at all, for like a few episodes. And if we do see her, it's literally just going to be her being like, have you told Adrien yet? Okay, bye. Like, and I think that for me, if they keep Alya around and she doesn't, like, I don't know. I believe that if you say you're going to do something, you should do it. And I get really frustrated when you don't. And I feel like if she doesn't, like, tell him, like, she says that she's threatened, then I would be very frustrated with Alya. So just know that.
Yeah, I mean, again, Alya says, don't count on me to play your lying game. So it's interesting, right? Because I don't think she's threatening to tell Adrien the truth. She's just like, I'm not going to lie for you.
Yeah.
But she says, if you want to stay my best friend, don't lie to me again. I don't think she's.
But she's saying don't lie to me. So she doesn't
right.
want...
So I think she's kind of accepting of the reality with Adrien. She's like, this is your thing
hypocrite.
Well, I think she's rightly saying it shouldn't be me to tell him the truth. It should be you.
Yeah. No, I agree with that, but it's also one of those things where, like, I don't want to play your lying game, but you are going to continue to play the game if you yourself do not tell Adrien
but she also doesn't want to tell Adrien. So
but she also doesn't want to. So okay, Alya, you're going to be a hypocrite. It's a complicated dynamic.
Right. I mean, I don't think it's a hypocrite for her to say like Marinette should do it, but how she approaches it is going to be very interesting to see.
I just predict that I'm not going to like Alya for a little bit.
Alya's in the right, though. Marinette's the one that's in the wrong here.
Alya is in the right, but again, like, I don't...
It's not as simple as Alya, like, that's the thing. It's not that simple.
It's not a simple thing.
And really, Alya cannot really understand Marinette because, like, Marinette is the guardian. Like, all of this is on Marinette. And also, Alya just found out 2 minutes ago that Hawkmoth and Gabriel are the same.
Well, and to be fair, she's already learned it before.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh. Right. She forgot. It's fine. But, like, you know, she really, like, Alya's right, but Alya cannot really relate to this turmoil.
Mm-hmm.
And also, the only person who could really understand is Adrien because he's Cat Noir. Like, obviously, they're all heroes, and sometimes Alya is Ladybug, but no one is as important as Ladybug and Cat Noir. Like, they literally have miraculouses that can alter the world, like alter the universe.
Yeah.
Like, Alya can't, and I don't even know if, I mean, I don't, so, okay, yeah, she found out that Gabriel was Hawkmoth, and it's like, but does anyone really understand, like, what, like, the miraculouses are, what they can do? Yeah, like, what that means. And so that's the thing Marinette really is all alone in this, and that's why more than ever she needs to tell Adrien, and they need to reveal themselves to each other, but that's not going to happen, and we're all going to suffer.
I agree with you, but I also do think if anyone, other than Adrien can understand, it's Alya. Alya's the one that Marinette confides in. Alya's the one that understands what it's like to be Ladybug. So, like, I think if Marinette was just fully honest with Alya, she could really help her.
You know who I think Marinette could and should turn to would be Felix and Kagame, because they are also keeping a secret from Adrien.
Yeah, that's true.
So
we should bring Kagami more into this. But okay, here's another to continue to keep it moving. Another person she could turn to is her parents, who now know that she's Ladybug. So maybe she can talk to them a little bit about what's going on. Now she wouldn't reveal, I guess, other identities. But Delaney, I think we've talked about it already, but overall, are you excited for Marinette's parents to know that she's Ladybug in season 7?
Yes, great. And they delivered immediately. They were like, we made snacks. and then Tom was like, do you want us to wash your suit? Like, it's great.
Marinette's like, no, it's a magic suit. Don't worry.
It's so good. And Tiki's also like, oh, this is great. Like, I'm excited. More,
Tiki's
please.
excited.
They delivered immediately. It was excellent.
You know what they're like? They're in I'm blanking, but Mean Girls, when I think it's Amy Poehler walks in, it's like, do you guys need anything? Snacks? Like a different context, but they're like,
oh, honey, if you're gonna drink, do it in the house.
Yeah. It's good. No, that was a great start, and I loved about that scene because it communicates that like Marinette's like, but now they're gonna worry. They worry about me every acclimatization. So I think that they did articulate that pretty well, because even though they're supportive, they're also worried and they're checking in, and it's like, okay, you can kind of understand why Marinette wouldn't want them to know. It is going to be a lot on them. But I think, there's a lot of potential there. So I do love how the show is handled painstakingly slowly. Marinette, more people knowing that Marinette is Ladybug. Alya, season 4, end of season 6, Marinette's parents. So that's like all of season 4, all of season 5, and then all of season 6 it took for a second person to know that Marinette's Ladybug. So
and we're just out here telling people.
So even if Adrien's the next person that learns that Marinette's Ladybug, that's all of season 7, all of season 8, and all of season 9. So maybe the season 9 finale is when the identity reveal is going to happen. Okay. Okay. No reaction. We can't even conceive of a season 9 finale. No, I think it was really fun. Any other thoughts on Marinette's parents?
They're great. I love them.
They're great. I love.
Also, Sabine needs a birthday redo. That was some nonsense.
Oh yeah.
Did they have the picnic?
Oh, did they? Also, it's weird that Marinette made a sign that said Sabine and not Mom.
I know, that was kind of weird, but it's for both of them. You would, I guess when you're grown up enough, if you're talking for your dad and yourself, you'd say your mom's name and not Mom. But if you're younger, you'd call her Mom. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe. Okay, last brief topic. I'll run through a few other things we missed. Did you guys see coming in the season 6 finale the return of Kung Food?
No,
we've been talking about this season. We've been referencing Kung Food.
It's funny because we've talked about it so much.
It feels like, and we recently, April's been opening Ladybug trading cards.
Yes!
And we got the Kung Food trading card. And it feels like Kung Food's been a part of the show. But this is the first time, I think, since season 1 we've seen Kung Food.
It's absolutely mind-boggling.
He's back. Except if it was Lila, I guess this is not the real Kung Food.
Oh, man. But we got to see Kung Food. It's also funny too because like we've like revisited villains this season, And Kung Fu was
2.0.
was not on that list by any means.
We've definitely joked about Kung Fu 2.0 before.
And-
Like, he's back.
He's back. He came back. He had a pizza sword. It was great.
Pizza
Yeah,
sword,
the pizza
and he has,
sword was
like,
pretty good.
salami mace.
Straight up.
The
Also, he was
salami
just straight
mace.
up. He looked like Naruto for some reason. Like,
The pineapple
So-
bombs.
I love
pineapple
the pineapple
bombs,
bombs.
yeah.
The pineapple bombs were my favorite.
So we have threatened to do a revisiting Kung Fu podcast in the off season. So we will see if we do that. So we could save commentary. But here's my very brief analysis on, because we have thought, just to recap, 10 years ago, we thought, we don't know how we would think of it now, but 10 years ago we thought Kung Fu was like kind of racist, the portrayal that they had.
Yes.
I think that they basically got rid of all of the problematicness of Kung Fu on this return. The only thing that remains is like the name is just kind of stereotypical of like an Asian stereotype. But other than that, they have made Kung Fu very silly. I believe there are no gongs involved, which is a big
Yes.
problem in season 1. So they got rid of that, and overall they just kind of got rid of the caricatureness and just turned him into like a
Yes.
fun, silly food thing. He's just a chef. He just has a bunch of food stuff going on.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a problem with Kung Fu coming back. I thought
was
if
not-
they're going to bring him back, which is an insane thing for them to do, bringing back Kung Fu. By the way, just to be clear, why did they do this? But if they were
Also,
going to do
granted,
this
it
was like the
also
best way to
helps
do it.
That since the first time, we've also had like a whole special with him, and like
He's more of a character. Yeah, he's an
Yes.
actual character now. Yeah. Oh, by the way, you might ask, I forgot to bring this up earlier. How could Lila have been Wang when uh Uncle Wang seems to have knowledge of what is going on? We didn't talk about this before. So here's the thing. The only things Uncle Wang displays in that episode, he mentions Grandma Fen.
Yes.
He calls Marinette's mom by her Chinese name, Jia Bing.
Yes.
He has general knowledge of their restaurant and Seta and Fei in Shanghai, and he also understands it's Sabine's birthday. So this is a lot of things, but it's not intricate knowledge of that. And I guess the answer is, I assume what you're going to say, April, this is all stuff that Lila learned on her trip when talking to them.
yes.
Well, no, that's not what I was going to say. I was
Also,
going to say
she
that it's very
totally could have
interesting.
She also could have just totally made some of that up.
The only thing that like is funny about it is that like the earrings, which Sabine knew about, like the ladybug earrings, and I was like, that's super sus. But also it's funny because then Lila going to Shanghai, like they made it a point for her to be like, oh, like you must know about the time difference whenever you're making calls for special occasions,
Yep,
right?
So they brought that up.
And
yeah.
I was like, wow, I'm
Lila
so
asked
upset.
questions and took in information beyond. That was well played by the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Lila could have made up the mom's Chinese name, and then also Grandma Fen, her mom seemed to recognize that name. I think the earrings might not have been like. I think maybe Sabine was more reacting to, oh, they're from Grandma.
Yeah, no,
like,
I don't.
It's
think
possible. It's possible she didn't know about
or
the earrings.
BS. Now,
Yeah. I think
do
so too. Yeah.
Everything that he knew was she just easily she like got all of this information from being like nosy and like hanging out with them for 10 minutes.
Yep. So in terms of why did Lila go to Shanghai, I think it was more to get this information than it was because she needed to physically. It's very possible she didn't need to physically be near him in order to see him, in order to transform as him. It's possible she could have seen a picture and could have transformed as him, but she had to go there in order to ask them all these questions and to have to like pull off the ruse when she came back. At least that's like, at the very least, she needed that information.
And like learn the mannerisms and then also create. It's
right.
Very,
maybe she
it's
needed
very
to study
like
him. Yeah.
it's very like Gabriel Hawkmoth for her to like have to create a reason to make him upset to then be akumatized, right? Like because, oh, I'm giving Sabine a special gift for her birthday.
Right. So in order to come up with that story, she had to
Yeah.
know that it's the birthday, and she had to know the types of, like their typical protocols, like how they might interact normally. But it is possible that Lila could just transform into anyone even without really seeing them, being near them, but she was specifically doing a whole ruse here. So like in the future, maybe she sees a picture of someone she can just transform them, but she wouldn't know how to act. Like that doesn't come as naturally.
And that would be like a dead giveaway, right? Like for the most part, I mean, Marinette just being ultra suspicious of everything and everyone is a different story. But if
he was
Uncle
being
Wing had been
super sketchy.
Yeah. I mean, but like the parents didn't think anything of it, right? But she also had to prevent the actual Wing from calling when he normally does. So
Oh, so yes, she reminded them about the time difference. But
yeah.
yeah, that's kind of serves a dual purpose, but that's how she learned about that practice maybe, and then also she reminded them so that yeah, anyway, it's kind of interesting. And I like how the show doesn't answer this question for you. It's just going to be implied that like that's why she went there to learn this information.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't kind of hold your hand on that.
Unless like they reveal something in terms of like having to interact with them or touch them
right,
or
unless they
whatever.
reveal a rule, which we will find out. Oh yeah, I remembered what I was going to say. Good thing Lila's been in Marinette's class for years and now knows the mannerisms of all her superhero classmates, and Marinette's only superhero friends with people Lila knows, so I don't think she'll have maybe problems pulling them off.
It's also not hard for her to pretend to be King Monkey of any one of them.
Probably the easiest one to do, yeah. Easiest one to pull off. But Lila knows all of them, so like I don't think Marinette should be worried. Like this person could, but maybe this is how maybe this could be a plotline for season 7. Marinette narrows in on it's someone who was in our school at some point, because how else would she be able to pull off replicating all of us once like she starts to be members of them? Maybe halfway through the season, she's like, this must be someone we've known.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I think Marinette should know it's Lila at this point. Like Lila.
She just disappeared.
Like Lila's a person who lies a lot, who's disappeared. I think she should suspect Lila, but that's okay.
That's okay. She has no idea that Adrien is Cat Noir, so.
Yeah. By the way, we see Marinette, the illusion of Marinette next to Ladybug, and they look the exact same, and no one comments on it once again.
Nope. No one says anything.
Okay, last 1 minute. Miraculous Ladybug. We see Alya as Reina Rouge fused with Ladybug. That was fun. Unify, yes.
Yes.
We see Marinette wearing the Shai Pao, which is also known as the Chong Sam. So yeah, I think that's great. Should that be the podcast screen cap, Delaney?
Yes.
Or should it be?
Yes.
It shouldn't be Marinette crying or Nemesis or the heroes. It should be it should just be Marinette in the Chong Sam.
In her cute outfit, yes.
That's totally representative of this. But yes. I think the title is going to be "This Finale Broke Something in Me," from what April said earlier. So I feel like we need Marinette crying to accompany that.
No, it's
either that or do the one where with Marinette and Tiki. Because there's like
Marinette looking serious. Okay, we could take that version. Yeah, let me brighten that a little bit. Okay, let's do that. Instead of Marinette being really happy, even though that I do love that screen cap.
I do the title to be Lila is a ditto, and you Photoshop a ditto. We can use the Pocopia font generator, and that's the title. It's the Lila is a ditto,
I want a picture of Lila from like a previous
with
episode
a ditto face.
With a ditto face.
The ditto face.
There's some. I think April said some other good things I didn't end up writing down, but there's some good title possibilities as well. Did we hit everything else? Magic suit. The caterpillar keychain. Yeah.
And that's how we discover she's a shapeshifter, or
because the caterpillar turns into a butterfly. Is that just the logic, or was I missing anything there?
But I think we're also missing the most important part, because do they know that Lila's supervillain name is Chrysalis?
Right, she doesn't even know that, I don't think. So yeah.
So I think they're missing the most important part. The caterpillar turns into a chrysalis and then becomes a butterfly. So this isn't even her final form.
Oh man, That's a good point. Lila could turn into a butterfly next season. Will we see a
Yeah.
new? Okay, we're not going to talk about this, but the other thing I had written down is that they pretend to defeat the illusion to not arise suspicion with the
Yes.
butterfly holder. But a follow-up question is, what does Lila think happened here? Because we've talked about, we're lacking her POV, so I think this is going to be something interesting to think about. Did Lila buy that? But they were chasing after her. How did they get to her? Like, they're going to prevent from arising suspicion, but
Well-
she's going to know something was up because they found her.
Well,
I think it's interesting to think about.
the other thing, there's a lot of questions that go into that because she akumatized an illusion that was created by Alya. So I know at one point I was just like, is Alya like partially akumatized in this moment? And like
Right.
that's why
I
her
think
acting is so
it's
good.
yeah. The mythology there was I think sketchy, but I believe the implication is that no one was akumatized. They were just pretending. Like
But then
I guess the
who-
illusion was akumatized, but that didn't matter because the illusion's not a sentient being. So Alya was controlling the illusion. Alya was not herself akumatized. She was just pretending to be akumatized.
But then that wouldn't then Lila
Then wouldn't Lila know that something was in it?
Which
Right,
is
so
why I'm like, okay,
I
maybe
think
that's
it's
why there's like
sketchy.
a partial akumatization. Because Alya is obviously mad, but she seemed way more mad when she was creating the illusion.
I don't think that's I don't think it's unreasonable, but I feel like we're under the impression that Alya is just acting.
Yeah.
But I don't think it fully makes sense. Like, they do a lot of new stuff with illusions here that it's like, I didn't know it could work like this. So why doesn't Lila understand that this was a illusion that got akumatized? Why doesn't she understand that Alya is just acting if that's what's happening? But they were able to trick her. She knows that something got akumatized. She knows that someone is acting akumatized. She can't put it together because she's kind of at a distance. So I don't know. I didn't necessarily buy in. I bought in like 90% to what was happening, but I agree that was a little bit of a barrier.
Yeah. Like that seemed
Okay.
way more complicated than it.
It was very complicated. We didn't even recap the whole plotline. Delaney, any final thoughts here?
I'm tired, boss.
We're surprised Delaney stayed up this whole time.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah.
What caffeine did you have? It was
A
Coke.
it was a
Coca-Cola.
Coke. I assume it's all gone. April, what
Yes.
what are your final thoughts?
When are we getting season 7?
Okay, yeah, that's
Good question.
Okay.
It has to be after Seven Havens. I can't do these things at once.
I know. They're threatening, like, oh, Disney Channel said they're going to release it in November. Like, I'm not buying it. Even if anyone's saying that it's coming soon, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
Unless they've been working this whole time.
Well, they have been working this whole time.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
It got greenlit before. I don't think it'll be as long as the wait for this season, so let's hope so. But let us know all of your finale thoughts on these 2 episodes. Let us know if you think they're going to be broken up in the beginning of season 7. Let us know which theory for why Lila can shapeshift, what you're buying there, and all our other discussion. Leave a comment, overlyanimated.com. Leave a Spotify comment. Leave a YouTube comment. Leave us an iTunes review. We really appreciate it. I didn't check for new reviews, but I will for our next podcast, and I'll try to feature one. And then come to our Discord to speculate. If we're missing any information from another episode that you think is relevant, come and tell us there so that I can try to understand better. But I tried to be very prepared for all the Cinemonster nonsense here. And then hopefully we'll have some off-season podcasts. I do have some ideas in mind.
Oh yeah, you were going to tell us one.
Oh yeah, there's a really fun one. I'll tell you guys offline.
Okay.
And then, and it's kind of dependent on me getting the video back up and running, so I need to test that first. But nothing. It'll just be like a fun thing. It's not a consequence. I mean, nothing's consequential in between seasons. But stay tuned for our Legend of Korra rewatch coming soon, and also Seven Havens coverage. So I'm gonna be a little bit busy with Avatar stuff, but we'll see if we can get in some Ladybug in between as well. I think it would be good. But for now we're going to be very worn out, especially after an almost 2.5 hour podcast. So thank you guys for listening. Consider supporting us via Patreon at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thanks to all our current patrons. especially our patron of the podcast, Carter, and thanks to Vice Chair, patron, executive producers Steve, Michael, and Phoenician. That's it for season 6. Thank you guys for staying with us on this journey. We did it.
Yay.
Yay.
I'm tired.
Okay, we're very tired. We'll see. It was a fun season though. Oh yeah, and I might want to do a season 6 like overview, but we got to think of like a fun format to do.
Okay.
But that would be fun to have like an overall on season 6. We didn't talk too much about the season as a whole. That's it. Thank you guys for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.